victory. Take home a Bosch stainless steel dishwasher for only $3.99. It's the quietest brand on the market, so you can set it post-game and forget it until the next pregame. Only at Gerhardt's Appliance, setting Philly sports fans up with the game day cleanup assist since 1945.
Two legends, one can. Jack and Coke, the #1 cocktail in the world, is now available in a can. Yes, it's true. Jack Daniel's Tennessee Whiskey mixed with Coca-Cola or Coca-Cola Zero Sugar are available in a can. And they are now available at your local PA Fine Wine and Good Spirits store. Two legends, one can. Jack and Coke, ready to drink. Go to finewineandgoodspirits.com. Please drink responsibly.
Whiskey Specialty, 7% ABV. Jack Daniel Distillery, Lynchburg, Tennessee. Jack Daniel's and Old Number 7 are registered trademarks of Jack Daniel's Properties, Inc. Coca-Cola is a trademark of the Coca-Cola Company.
Hey, Joe DeCamera here. Football season is upon us, and the big question, will the Birds get another ring? I don't have the answer to that question, but if you have a woman in your life that is looking for her own ring, I can tell you the answer is Family and Company Jewelers in Marlton, New Jersey. They are the only place I recommend for your engagement ring, wedding band, whatever you need. The largest inventory in the area, of course, the best prices. Family and Company Jewelers, South Jersey's diamond destination, online at familyjewelers.com.
Hey, Philly, looking to save big on your next new Infiniti? Then look no further than the Bush Auto Group. Right now, all 2023 Infiniti models come with 3 years of scheduled maintenance. And that's not all. Every vehicle purchase at the Bush Auto Group comes with over $3,000 in bonus value to drive down the cost of vehicle ownership. Don't wait. Swing by one of our 2 Bush Infiniti locations in Ardmore and Westchester today and drive off with a grin as wide as the Schuylkill Expressway. Visit bushautogroup.com to learn more. And remember, Philly rides with us.
Hey, Jimmy, I heard you have a tankless job today.
Yeah, Skip, I'm installing a Bradford White Infinity Series tankless water heater in Roxborough.
Bradford White? I use their tank water heaters all the time. They have tankless?
Absolutely. Their tankless water heaters are great, too. Virtually endless hot water. Easy to maintain and install, super reliable, and Energy Star rated.
Wow, Bradford White has tankless.
Yep, and like their tank water heaters, they're built to be the best. Check them out at bradfordwhite.com.
WPHT, WPHT HD, WOGL HD3, Philadelphia. Always live on the free Odyssey app. From the Cherry Hill Volvo Studios, where relationships matter. Live and local from Philadelphia. Free speech lives here. It's Kayal and Company on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
And away we go, live on this Thursday, September 28th. It is indeed Kayal and Company right here on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT. We are always live on the free Odyssey app and, of course, streaming live for your video viewing pleasure on YouTube as we head until 10 o'clock this morning. 855-839-1210, the phone number, Twitter and Instagram. The radio station at 1210 WPHT. I am at Nick Kayal, Kayal. Dawn Stenzlin with the news. Greg Stocker, the chairman of the board. Daniel Valdez, Anthony Dorenzo, our associate producers. Action-packed Thursday today, baby. We are loaded, and we're going to give it our all. Why?
Everybody must eat.
Because everybody must eat, baby. That's why. Dawn, good morning. How are you?
Good morning. Doing great.
You stay with the debate for the whole shebang?
Almost.
Almost. I pivoted out after the economy. It's the only thing I cared about. We'll get to that in the big take. Gregory, good morning. How you doing, sir?
Did you see the mugshot for our friend Meatball?
Yep.
Yeah.
Cry me a river.
Yeah,
wow.
You could see that her tears had streamed down her face.
Will she live stream those tears on Instagram to all of her influencing followers?
Do we know what she was charged with?
I've got the... It's funny you say that, Mr. Stocker.
Oh.
I have right in front of me the looting arrest rap sheet for everybody that was arrested. I've got names, charges, stores they robbed.
Interesting.
Sneaker size.
Yeah.
Social security numbers, you name it.
What if you have to return the yoga pants that you looted and stole and they're the wrong size?
Oh.
It's a great question.
What about returns?
It's a great question.
Inquiring minds need to know.
You know how, like, you can take Amazon packages that you don't want back to Kohl's and get returns. Maybe, maybe a store would want to step up and says, hey, if you looted something and it's not the right size, bring it in.
Yes.
We'll give you a coupon.
Oh, coupon.
I like it.
I like it a lot.
Yeah.
What if you get one of the lawyers, who's even on our air. Sometimes when you're a looter in Philadelphia,
I am not licensed in your state.
but you need a good lawyer. Get your yoga pants to be the right size.
Cordell and Cordell. Oh, we got a lot of good things to get into today. Full reaction to the debate last night. Closures in retail because of crime. And a Senate reversal when it comes to Mr. Fetterman and proper work attire. How about that?
Wow.
Yes.
Common sense win?
Yeah, big common sense victory. A lot of common sense victories in the last 24 hours. And let's get the news going. Speaking of common sense, she has plenty of it. And she's got the news at 6:05. Here is the great Dawn Stensland.
Yeah, let's get to it. Thursday, September 28th. So much happening in the city of Philadelphia and, of course, beyond the city of Philadelphia. So despite the fact that police sent out many warnings across the city, and despite the fact that there were, when we left you 24 hours ago, there were confirmed 20-plus arrests, the chaos continued. And we now have more arrests, and we have word from Philadelphia that this will not be tolerated. We're talking about looting, more looting across the city of Philadelphia, despite that increase of police presence. And Philadelphia police saying the bottom line, sending a message. Philadelphia is not going to be the place where you can do this type of behavior. But beside that police presence that was beefed up across Philadelphia, unfortunately, another group of looters wreaked havoc on the city. So we did have the interim Commissioner John Stanford, speaking out about that. This morning, as it stands, a total of 52 arrests have been made so far, and all but 3 of them are indeed adults. So we had been hearing they were all juvies, but now they're saying of the 52, all but 3 of them are adults. There were reports on social media, I will point out, showing that some people were let go, or that was the perception of bystanders. So we haven't gotten to the bottom of that.
Yeah, those RORs, correct? Released
yes.
on reconnaissance. Yeah.
So were those juveniles? We don't, we have to get to the bottom of that. But the Pennsylvania Liquor Control Board said at least 18 fine wine and good spirits stores across Philadelphia were indeed looted initially.
So everybody must eat.
Yeah.
Everybody.
But what about is there a lot of groceries that are consumed at fine wine and good spirits stores?
Not that I know of.
Okay.
No. Just a lot of booze.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
Yeah.
So
act like it's prohibition all over again. just do whatever you can.
Yeah, so all the fine wine and all the fine wine, all the liquor stores in Philadelphia, as well as one in Cheltenham Plaza, shut down by the state because they're all state run in the interest of employee safety, and they're assessing the damage and all the loss, that official word from the fine wine and spirits folks. So they are now looking to reopen today, maybe, but maybe not.
Yeah,
we don't have a decision.
Yeah, we just don't know if we can open up a bunch of liquor stores because people can't behave properly.
So we've got that going for us, which is nice.
Yeah, come out to the suburbs to buy your booze, folks. Don't worry, we got plenty.
So I will say that the Philadelphia police continue to put out the word that all of this lawlessness, which they say will not be tolerated, is in no way related to anything that happened as far as that initial march that happened around City Hall to talk about the police shooting of Eddie Irizarry. They keep putting that out there, which I think is a good thing, to say these are just individuals who apparently were spurred by social media. And that brings us to the most notable arrestee of the 52, 21-year-old Deja Blackwell. So she's accused of using her social media platform to encourage people to engage in looting at multiple locations. And we talked about yesterday that caravan of cars that were going across the city, not just in Center City and not just on Walnut Street, but North Philadelphia, the Northeast, and points beyond. And so she's charged with burglary, conspiracy, criminal trespass, riot, criminal mischief, criminal use of communication facility, and receipt of stolen property and disorderly conduct.
I would think the burglary charge is probably the most severe of those, which hopefully, and she's, I believe, 21 years old, so she should not get off lightly, although she might, knowing this city.
Yeah, and I mean, the interim commissioner, Stanford, talked directly about her, said she incited many other individuals to do at one point what we know is coordinating the caravan of individuals to go across the city, hitting multiple locations.
Oh yeah, she was like the drill sergeant, general brigadier, like just leading the charge. You go here, you go there, then we're going here. It'll be chaos everywhere. She was orchestrating everything.
So that's what she's accused of, and these are very serious charges, which perhaps do explain that mugshot that has gone viral, where you could clearly see she had been sobbing.
My question is that when you do stuff like this on social media and your videos are out there and they become, do you really just think you're going to get away with it?
I know. That's the wild part. And I think they do because they realize in this city you're going to get off lightly. Sadly.
Is it that, or is it just this like
this
kind of
obsession
oblivion,
of being noticed?
No, oblivion to any consequences. They're like, well, everything's on social media, so like, of course I'm going to live stream it.
Just don't care. They don't care, and they wanted to glamorize. And she's got 120. Think about that. She's got 125,000 followers.
Yeah.
So that's 111,000 more than I have. I'm sitting there looking at my followers. I only have 15 grand. I'm like a schlub.
Well, now she's accused of using that as a weapon.
Yep.
And so she's in jail.
Yep.
She's, facing court, and we'll follow this. But clearly the Philadelphia police and this interim commissioner making an example out of not only her, this suspect, but all the others.
Which is nice on the police front. But then once it gets to the DA's office and once it gets handed over to Krasner, it's like if you're the commissioner or the interim, you're trying to really shake things up to whatever power you truly have. And you kind of get sawed off at the knees by your district attorney then, right?
We shall see.
Yeah.
We have one man injured. This is a police investigation. A man injured in a shooting right near Philadelphia's popular Italian market. This happened in the 900 block of Washington Avenue, South Philadelphia, obviously, last night. And that shooting, they say, started with an argument inside a deli. So the 27-year-old victim was shot twice in the abdomen, according to police, and he was found. He tried to walk out, and he was on the sidewalk. So they're now looking for two male suspects who were clearly captured there on surveillance cameras in the area. So we don't know the circumstances surrounding that. They're looking for the two suspects. We don't know if this is, they're saying an argument, but was there a robbery involved? What was going on here? And there was a day of remembrance at Roxborough High School all day yesterday as teachers, staff, and students honor the life of Nicholas Elizalde, the 14-year-old, the freshman, who was gunned down as he walked off a scrimmage field just in the shadow of Roxy. And this was after a JV scrimmage, by the way. And so he's being remembered this week as well. And we've talked a lot about that tragic situation. There were others. He was killed. There were others shot. We don't hear much about the others who were shot. And we don't hear much as well about the intended target. So we continue to follow this story carefully. And they have made some arrests, but we haven't heard a lot about those court proceedings. This involves juveniles once again, which were blocked then from learning all the details or the names of the suspects, etc.
Right. Yeah.
I'll just bring this highlight to you because we want to get to Nick's big take, which of course was on what happened last night. U.S. Senator, as far as on the political scene, U.S. Senator Bob Menendez of New Jersey pleading not guilty to those federal bribery charges in court, making that appearance. Federal prosecutors accusing Menendez of using his powerful post to secretly advance Egyptian interests and do favors for New Jersey businessmen in exchange, allegedly, for bribes of cash and gold bars, thus giving him the nickname Gold Bar Bob, which has gone viral.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. It's just money from my savings account, Dawn. It's,
must be nice.
Yeah, no bribes here. This is what we do in Cuba. It's the Cuba card.
So making his first appearance in federal court yesterday, Menendez and his wife, who was also charged in the case, they said nothing in and out of the court there as they arrived and left the lower Manhattan courthouse. And, of course, he was forced to step down as chairman of the powerful chairman of the Foreign Relations Committee after the indictment was brought last week. So we continue to follow that story and many others, including what's happening in Chester and beyond. We'll take you there with all the day's news. NBC 10 first alert forecast today. Back to the dreary, drizzly, cloudy weather today. I'm sorry to say. We enjoyed a little spritz of sunshine, but now the spritz of the wet stuff, and we return to that. So we're dreary today for your Thursday, for your Friday. We really don't see a fully bright, sunny day until Sunday, and that's when we see near 80 degrees and bright, sunny skies for your Sunday. It'll actually be 78, but 64 today. 30% chance of this spattering of showers, a lot of clouds. Tomorrow, much of the same, mid-60s clouds. Saturday, we are still cloudy, but less of the rain for your Saturday. And like I say, Sunday, we start a summer-like stretch with 78, near 80 degrees for your Monday. We go into it next week when we think about our Phillies. And, of course, Eagles, as we think about Monday and Tuesday of next week, a lot of sports, but a beautiful sunny stretch for next week, near 80 degrees every day, and we get rid of the rain. This is Kayal & Company News Live.
All right, Dawn, thank you very much. 6:15 Thursday morning. Let's get to another Big Take.
The Big Take on Kayal & Company.
All right, the Big Take this morning, GOP primary debate number 2. The second Republican primary debate took place last night, 9 o'clock on Fox News. 7 GOP hopefuls took the stage, which included Ron DeSantis, Vivek Ramaswamy, Nikki Haley, Chris Christie, Tim Scott, Mike Pence, and Doug Burgum. Of course, missing from action was the runaway favorite, Donald Trump. The 45th president of the United States opted out. Instead of attending the debate at the Ronald Reagan Presidential Library, Trump was in Michigan for the UAW strike. And Trump, who has a massive lead, is not being a coward. He is being strategic and has nothing to gain at this point with such a massive lead in every poll. And I said on Wednesday's edition of Kayal & Company that if I was one of the 7 on the debate stage, I would make it my life's mission to hammer home my crystal clear vision on how to rebuild the American economy and have citizens of the United States flourishing financially and feeling good about their economic realities. It's the one thing that Trump does better than anybody else. The border, Ukraine, crime, energy, and other topics, certainly important, but nothing more important than the economy. And here are some of my takeaways on the economy from last night, which, by the way, allow me to start with the pregame show on Jesse Waters, where he had Ned Ryan on, American Majority founder and CEO, who claimed that candidates must lead against injustice. No, you don't lead with that. Americans don't care about the injustices to the GOP right now. They care about the economy. You lead with the economy. And with that, the debate would begin. Ronald Reagan would welcome us in, and so the Republican Party. And what it means to be a conservative would ensue. Would Ronald Reagan even recognize this country and the grand old party today? Dana Perino, Stuart Varney, and Ilya Calderon would moderate the presentation and debate. Candidates would get 1 minute to respond and 30 seconds to respond if they were singled out. Dana Perino said, "We are drowning in division and incivility," which is absolutely correct. The economy is killing our country. The panelists then did lead with the economy. Tim Scott would talk about the economy, but pivoted to the wall in Title 42. Not sure what that has to do with the economy. Vivek doesn't have patience for the union bosses, but he does have patience for union workers. But he feels pretty good about those individuals, talking about his family experiences and hardships, about his father's layoffs at GE and his mom's layoffs, and then talked about playing the victimhood card in this country and how it is plaguing this nation. Take a listen to how Vivek would fix America's economy. Listen.
You know what? If I was giving advice to those workers, I would say go picket in front of the White House in Washington, D.C. That's really where the protest needs to be. Disastrous economic policies that have driven up prices, that have driven up interest rates and mortgage rates. At the same time, wages remaining stagnant. What we need is to deliver economic growth in this country. Unlock American energy. Drill, frack, burn coal, embrace nuclear energy. Put people back to work by no longer paying them more money to stay at home. Stabilize the U.S. dollar itself and rescind a majority of those unconstitutional federal regulations that are hampering our economy. That is how we unleash American exceptionalism. And that's not a Democratic vision or a Republican vision. That is an American vision that we embrace economic growth, and capitalism is still the best system known to man to lift us up from poverty, and we should not apologize for it. That's what it means to be an American.
I liked Vivek there with the drilling and the fracking, but if you heard that's not a Republican thing, that's not a Democratic thing, he stole that from Barack Obama. That was shades of Obama last night, but also plenty of capitalism on top of it, so we like that. We then heard from Nikki Haley talking about Biden on the picket line and talking about Biden's spending as the cause of inflation. Let's take a listen to Nikki Haley on the economy.
I think we need to look at exactly what happened. Biden showed up on that picket line, but why are those workers actually there? It's because of all of the spending that he has pushed through in the economy that's raised the inflation. So when you look at the fact that we are paying higher gas prices, higher grocery prices, $7,000 more a year for families, what we need to do is I came out with an economic plan, eliminate the gas and diesel tax so that they have more money in their pocket. Let's focus on going after middle America and cutting taxes for middle America and collapsing those brackets. Let's get rid of unfair distortions like the state and local tax that they give to wealthy people in blue states and paid by red states. And let's make sure we make the small business taxes permanent. They only made those temporary. They made the corporate taxes permanent. Let's focus on what it takes to get more cash in the pockets of workers. That's when we'll be able to deal with strikes like this, not sitting on a picket line like Joe Biden is. Thank you.
All right, some taxes, some gas prices. Not bad, Nikki, not bad. She would then be interrupted by Doug Burgum. Shout out to number 7 for making a peep last night. Not really sure why he's there, though. Sloppy Chris Christie would then ramble on about the national debt and truth and kicking the can down the road, and, of course, took his obligatory shot at Donald Trump. He even mentioned Trump's golf clubs. And then finally, we got to Mr. Mustard himself, Ron DeSantis. Here is the Florida governor on the economy and who was responsible. He even mentions Trump and some crocodile tears. Take a listen.
So please spare me the crocodile tears for these people. They need to change what's going on. And where's Joe Biden? He's completely missing in action from leadership. And you know who else is missing in action? Donald Trump is missing in action. He should be on this stage tonight. He owes it to you to defend his record where they added $7.8 trillion to the debt. That set the stage for the inflation that we have now. I can tell you this, as governor of Florida, we cut taxes, we ran surpluses, we've paid down over 25% of our state debt, and I vetoed wasteful spending when it came to my desk. And as your president, when they send me a bloating spending bill that's going to cause your prices to go up, I'm going to take out this veto pen and I'm going to send it right back to them.
Ilya, you mentioned me in the question.
Nah, you can take out your veto pen all you would like, Ron. Not a bad answer, but at the end of the day, I don't think Trump owes it to you or anybody on that stage or anybody watching, listening, and consuming the debate in America, because the reality is this: with the economy, Trump was the best, and in 2017, 2018, and 2019, Americans were flourishing before all hell broke loose in 2020. And the debate would spend about 20 minutes on the economy last night, and rightfully so, but my takeaway is this: nobody, not even Ron DeSantis, wowed me with the economy. They all made solid points, but they didn't get me feeling great about their vision and how quickly they could turn things around. And people have the audacity to question Trump's backbone to show up for debate number 2. Based on these answers, Trump gave us his answer, and not one of these 7 seemed to be the answer. And that's the big take.
The Big Take on Kayal and Company.
All right, big take on this Thursday morning. Thoughts, reaction from the debate last night on the economy or any other subject that you would like. 855-839-1210, the phone number. Twitter and Instagram, the radio station at 1210 WPHT. And, of course, you could be a part of the show on YouTube. Just go to youtube.com/@1210 WPHT. Hit the like and subscribe buttons and be a part of the Kayal and Company comment community. We'll get some reaction and takeaways from Dawn and Greg on the debate last night, as well as proof that last night could very well have been a dud. We've got some financial details as to what it would cost you to advertise last night. And let's just say they were rolling back prices on Fox News like it was Walmart in 1997. We'll get into that. And then, of course, plenty of looting and rioting. Night number 2 in Philly as we continue our number 1 of Kayal and Company Thursday morning. Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
Heart failure, carpal tunnel syndrome, shortness of breath, stomach issues, lower back pain. How does it all add up? If you have heart failure and any of those seemingly unrelated symptoms sound familiar, it's time to talk with your cardiologist and get the full picture. They may add up to transthyretin amyloid cardiomyopathy. ATTR-CM is a rare and underdiagnosed disease. Recognize the signs and discuss them with your doctor soon. Learn more at connectwithyourheart.com. That's connectwithyourheart.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Whether you own a local business or a global one, you know that these days, generating growth is a challenge. By teaming with Bank of America, you'll not just stay ahead of the curve, you'll move it. With access to experts, award-winning insights, and business solutions so powerful, you'll make every move matter, locally and globally. Visit bankofamerica.com/banking for business to learn more. What would you like the power to do? Copyright 2023 Bank of America, N.A.
Hey, Joe DeCamera here. Confidence is super high this fall in Philadelphia sports, and I'm going to tell you why you should be super confident getting your car serviced at United Tire. Quality, the best in the business. Expertise, technicians who excel at their craft. Owners on site with 20 years experience and tremendous customer service. Now is the time for you to make the right choice about who services your car. United Tire and Service. For locations and information, go to UnitedTire.com. That's UnitedTire.com. Don't drive alone. Drive United.
Looking for a new Ford? Winter Ford has the vehicle for you. Choose from our large selection of new F-150s, Explorers, Escapes, and Bronco Sports today. Winter Ford also takes care of you after the sale. Stop in their service department with no appointment necessary. Call 800-428-4000 for offer details. Visit in person or online at winterford.com. Winter Ford, people you trust, service and value you'll love.
It's that time of year again to consider replacing your old drafty windows and doors before another long, cold winter season rolls in. And the great people at Guided Door and Window will help make your window and door replacement project more affordable with their buy one, get one half off sale. For every door or window you buy, you'll get a second one at 50% off. And you can mix and match the savings to suit your own needs. Buy an entry door, get half off a storm door. Buy a patio door, get 50% off a window. Need to replace all the windows and doors in your house? Well, you save 50% on half your project. The more you need, the more you save. Plus, Guida is making it easier for you to afford your project with no money down and interest-free financing for up to 18 months. Act now. Offers for a limited time only. Restrictions apply. For full details, call Guida today to schedule a free, no-obligation in-home estimate at 1-877-GO-GUIDA or visit them at GoGuida.com. That's go, G-U-I-D-A.com.
This is Larry Steinhaus of Investor Schooling. I am so proud to announce the continuing success of our students at Investor Schooling. You already know that at Investor Schooling, we teach real estate investing and stock options. Did you also know that we teach things about tax savings, estate planning, and business coaching as well? We teach things about money I bet you never knew. At Investor Schooling, we teach from the perspective of true experience. If you want to see what our students think about Investor Schooling, please check out the over 160 5-star Google reviews. To find out more about how you can change your financial life, go to investorschooling.com or call 866-424-2829. That's 866-424-2829, and you can attend a complimentary class this Thursday at 7 p.m. Attend that class and see for yourself what Investor Schooling is all about. Go to investorschooling.com or call 866-424-2829. That's 866-424-2829. We can't wait to see you this Thursday.
This is Jonathan Cans, third-generation owner of Marvin E. Cans Heating and Air Conditioning. Are you waking up soaking wet? Don't worry, you didn't wet the bed. It's sweat, which means your air conditioning probably needs service or needs to be replaced. Summer is still here for a few more months. If you want a company who's been servicing some of the same customers for 3 generations with honest pricing, no gimmicks, and factory-trained technicians, then Marvin E. Cans Heating and Air Conditioning is for you. Visit us at marvinecans.com. That's marvinekane.com.
For breakfast, lunch, and dinner, Hatfield Pork brings flavor to the table the whole family will enjoy and keep you moving through the day. With over 24 distinct flavors that can be ready in minutes, it's food you can feel good about serving. Explore endless meal possibilities with Hatfield's variety of marinated pork, ground sausage, ham, and bacon. Find your flavor with Hatfield. Visit simplyhatfield.com for recipes and to find a retailer near you.
The 2-minute warning, the caution flag, the 4. PNC Bank believes in the power of a helpful watch out. That's why they created low cash mode, the new financial watch out that gives you multiple options and at least 24 hours of extra time to help avoid overdraft fees. Low cash mode and virtual wallet from PNC Bank. Available in all virtual wallet products. To learn more, visit pnc.com/low cash mode. PNC Bank, National Association, member FDIC.
Yeah, we had such a great experience getting Michael's car. You remember getting your first car? It was a great memory with our friends at Philadelphia Piazza Honda. It was such a great experience. In fact, I said, oh, that was easy. And when have you said that, by the way, going to get a vehicle? Because you kind of dread it. They made everything easy. He ended up with a lease, got an incredible rate. I mean, it was everything was good. Ross, Vince, Tony, Kristen, they're just great people to deal with. So much so I was like, how much can I get for a trade-in on my 2018 minivan? And that blew me away. So maybe I'll get something new. I'm looking at it. You know, now is the time. It's fall. You're headed into the holidays, maybe some holiday travel, maybe an early holiday gift. Whatever it is, turn to my friends at the Piazza Auto Group for all your needs. Find yourself that new certified or pre-owned vehicle. And yeah, they have an amazing selection. More than 1,200 pre-owned vehicles. That's at any given time. And not just, you know, I talk about my Honda. Nick Kayal talks about his Honda truck. Acura, Mazda, Hyundai, Volkswagen, but pretty much any other brand that you could imagine. And that's what I'm talking about. There is a power in the Piazza Auto Group because they're all over Pennsylvania, New Jersey, Delaware. Just visit them, piazzaautogroup.com, search their pre-owned inventory or for that dealer nearest you, Piazza, piazzaautogroup.com. Tell them Dawn sent you.
Be sure to follow Talk Radio 1210 WPHT on the free Odyssey app. Download it now.
Calls me home and says, baby, it's a lonely old night.
6:31 as we welcome everybody back in. Kayal and Company live here on a Thursday morning. Nick, Dawn, and Greg. Talk Radio 1210 WPHT. Get us on the free Odyssey app. And, of course, watch us live on YouTube, 855-839-1210 to climb in. So, second GOP primary debate last night. And I said all week long leading into this that I was not overly ecstatic or enthused and excited to watch it. It felt like it was very, very low energy, and I think it was very low energy last night for the most part. From a consumption standpoint, what I wanted to see and hear was visions and plans for the future on the economy. Should, Donald Trump trip, bang his head, and die, and somebody else become president? Because none of these other people are going to become president. They're all vying for vice president or a spot in the cabinet somewhere. And the reason I felt like it was low energy, it's a combination of 4 or 5 different things. Obviously, no Donald Trump. Also, the buildup to it, how they were promoting it was going to be on Fox Business and simulcasted on Fox News. And I kept hearing them pump up Fox Business, and I'm thinking, is it not really good enough? Do they really know it's their own product, but like, you're not making it sound like this is a Fox News presentation. The moderators, with all due respect to Dana Perino, who I like a lot, was not crazy about her plus Stuart Varney and then Ilya Calderon.
Well, can we do debate one here, Daniel? Because I want to. It started off very awkwardly.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm sure you guys saw this. This is debate one. Stuart Varney was trying to introduce everybody.
Yeah.
I'm Stuart Varney of Fox Business, and I am thrilled to be sitting alongside my co-moderators, Fox News Channel Dana Perino and Ilya Calderon, Univision.
Yeah.
Good evening. Thank you, Stuart. President Reagan, famously.
This is amazing.
Anyway, Stuart Varney basically pulling a Joe Biden.
Look, we all have.
Of course.
We all have those moments. I get it.
Yeah.
But
Dawn and I talk 20, 30 hours a week. So we get it for sure.
But it wasn't a great way to start off the debate.
No, and I got to imagine when the ratings come out, they're going to be substantially lower than they were for the first one. And to tell you what the network thought, what Fox thought about this going into it, as they are selling advertising space in the debate itself, the first GOP primary debate, a 30-second cost you $495,000. So just about $500,000 for a 30-second spot for debate number one a month ago. But the same 30-second spot last night cost just over $200,000.
Wow, they cut him in half.
You saved over $295,000 per 30 seconds if you wanted to wait from night 1 to night 2. So you add it all up, no Trump, the ad revenue cut in half, the moderators not being overly strong and compelling and stumbling out of the gates, the way they promoted it for the most part. And then, of course, the substance itself. Dawn, not sure what your takeaways were, but I'm not sure that I'm going to be overly enthused for debate number 3 whenever that comes along.
Yeah, and I'm like you. I'm a huge Dana Perino. What I wanted to say this morning was, and the winner is Dana.
Okay.
I'm a huge fan. But I knew that she was a little nervous about the night when she was on earlier because I'm driving around football practice and somebody forgot some of their football gear and so I had between Rich Scioli and I flipped over to hear what maybe Martha and Dana were talking about, and so I heard this exchange where Dana was like, "Yeah, Martha, thanks for all your advice."
Oh.
And I've never done this before, and I was like, "Ruh-roh, she seems nervous,
projecting weakness a little bit."
Well, honesty, and it was a nice back and forth, but it was unusual.
Right.
It was because they're all so confident. And look, Dana Perino worked during. I know she was in her 20s, but she worked for the Bush administration.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? She was actually one of the first. We talk about KJP being a 1st. Dana, back in the day, did hold that job as an interim under the Bush administration.
And did it pretty well.
Under, George W. So, very experienced, accomplished. But that to me was a little surprising. So I think this was one of those things where they were out of, like a fish out of water a little bit. They were, because you know how we are. We look at every morning, we come in, right, and get your coffee and this and that. But we have our routine and we are teammates.
Right. And
it's almost like you have a superstar team, but then you take Dana out of that element.
Yep.
And so to me, that was also channeled by the candidates maybe, because there were awkward moments by them.
Yeah.
And as far as, I will say Nikki Haley, because I kind of thought, oh, if she looks like the grown-up in the room again, remember we talked about yesterday, and she looked fabulous, and I loved that bright red sheen of her, jacket, so visually, and she kind of almost looked like she coordinated with Vivek because his tie was like the exact, deep.
We're going to be in the middle of the stage. What do you think? Red on red? Yeah, that sounds good, Dana. All right, that sounds good, Nikki.
Like a holiday gift card. Like, you got to wear that. But, I thought that she should not have had the dumb comment because she looked like the adult in the room and the president. You want to look presidential. And I thought sometimes, and she was kind of with a tight pursed lips sometimes, and she got a little too irked, and it got under her skin a little bit too much. You want to look like that relaxed leader, power, making that power look, that power play. She didn't have it.
I agree.
And so none of them had it, truthfully. And so that, to me, it was just like, wow, these are the juniors, these are the lessers.
Well, what Dawn is referring to, I'm going to go to cut 8 here, debate 8 here, Daniel. What she was referring to is the question was on technology and the effects it has on our kids and banning TikTok. And Nikki Haley said this to Vivek Ramaswamy, debate 8. Daniel.
I'm here to tell you, no, I don't know it all. I will listen. I will have the best people, the best and brightest in this country, whatever age they are, advising me. We will be probably many of the people on this stage included. That's how I built my companies. I want to be challenged. I want people who disagree with me. That's what makes America great, because we're not a perfect nation. We're founded on the pursuit of perfection. That is what makes America great. And that is why we will end it once we win this election.
I have to jump. I have to jump in here. I'm sorry.
Ramaswamy was speaking.
There's one person on this.
This is infuriating because TikTok is one of the most dangerous social media apps that we could have. And what you've got, I honestly, every time I hear you, I feel a little bit dumber for what you say, because I can't believe that here you've got a TikTok situation. What they're doing is these 150 million million people are on TikTok.
Okay, so you
Well, you know my stance on TikTok, so I love the fact that Nikki's sitting there about talking about how dangerous TikTok is.
Dangerous, though?
It's
dangerous.
It's ridiculous.
I think it's
a
ridiculous.
Dangerous?
It's a
Come
ridiculous
on.
statement. It's not dangerous. It's not any more dangerous than anything else.
But I also like Vivek.
We get our food from China, people. Why do we get all our food?
Speaking of China, did you hear about Fetterman where he said we've got to stop selling land to China? The first time I've ever heard Fetterman say something that I agree with. We could get to that later.
You have some good, juicy Fetterman stuff. I can't wait.
It's going to be great.
Yeah.
But, you know, I like Vivek there when he's talking about, and not specifically about TikTok, but he admitted he doesn't know everything, which is refreshing because he does try to come off like the smartest guy in the room at times. But I like the one thing that I really like, and this should be applicable to every candidate. This is something you should want even in your work life. You want to be around people that say, you know what, I want people around me that might disagree with me. Don't surround yourself with a bunch of yes people.
Yep.
So I love that. But the Nikki comment, the dumb stuff, is that beneath her? I don't know that that's beneath her, is it? I mean, I didn't have a problem with her kind of getting semi-personal and taking a little pot shot. Every time I hear you on this, I get dumber. I don't mind that.
I don't know. It's more the visual, and I hate to say this. You know, we go back to and I taught this in journalism class as an adjunct, right? Just the visual of it. You just want that person. If Trump had been there, he would have just clobbered all of these individuals.
Yes.
And that's a leader. That is the person who emerges, is confident in their own skin, and just owns it. And you hear them all, rah, 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 and they're trying to, at least she was the one who nailed it and got the line and got the camera to go to her. And that is the leadership. You know, she's the strongest one up there.
Sure.
Truthfully. But of all of them, they did not exude confidence, leadership, strength. To me personally,
everybody went after Vivek too, which was very interesting to me.
I think they're a little tired of that guy.
Yeah, he went. Well, he does. I mean, look. First of all, what was up with his hair?
I mean, it was like, how about that?
It was like halfway off his head.
He's like a southern lady with his big hair.
Yeah, I don't know what was happening there.
Did he take Trump's hairspray or something?
He's a very good speaker. He's like I would hire him in a second to be a talk show host.
Oh, 1,000%.
I mean, he's very eloquent. He's quick on his feet, but there is something annoying about him. Like there just is.
A little too good
polished
to be true.
And like, wow, I think that he's too polished. he's like salesman-y. He's politician-y, and it's just and Ron DeSantis too. At some point we have to. Every time he would make a statement, he would give this weird smile at the end of it.
Because the consultants have said, make sure you smile at the end. So he's like,
but
I gotta
it
smile.
looks so fake.
He's uncomfortable doing it.
It was so fake.
I'll always remember this about Tony Bruno. Tony Bruno would always have the same smile or smirk for a photo. Or anytime we would do a remote and people wanted to take pictures, he had it down to a science. It was like an art. And there are some people that are just not comfortable in picture settings and photo ops and smiling. They always hold their hands a certain way. Like DeSantis is that guy.
Yeah.
The Christmas card for the DeSantis family must be very brutal.
Yeah, he was very awkward. Look, you know, if it was policy you guys wanted, then I think that there was a lot of policy discussed. Really, the only people who brought up Trump was Chris Christie. It was literally everything.
That's all he has.
He couldn't bring up any subject without calling out Trump.
Yep.
Ron DeSantis did too, as you played in that in your big take clip there.
Yeah.
But for the most part, Trump was non-existent in the debate, except when they get to the last question, which we'll play in a little bit, which was basically a Survivor type question, which I think was. I want to debate with you guys whether you think it was an appropriate question or not, but we can get to that in the next segment. But I thought, like, as far as substance goes, you know, if you're looking for a candidate who is accomplished and high on substance, I think these guys were and gals were were right on the money last night.
Yeah, I just think at the end of the day, though, through two debates, if any of them come out again and say that they want Trump there, they think that he's ducking them. I have seen nothing through two debates that says any of these people can handle Trump on a debate stage. Be careful what you wish for.
Agreed.
Be careful what you ask for. Because if he does show up at some point against...
they're done.
They're done.
Christie would be the best.
Yeah.
Against him.
Yeah,
but
that's just
what
cuts
is he
you to gold.
think about that, though. The best at what? Being a foil, being the clown, the jester.
Right.
He's not. His whole platform. What does he think about foreign policy?
Yeah.
What does he think? I mean, we don't really. We know because
He had
we
a
look
good
it
answer
up,
on immigration last night.
But no, he's not known for leadership or policy. He's just known as the court jester who's going to make a good jab against Trump. It's like, that's not a president. That's not a leader to take us forward. Everybody on that stage, I will say this, anybody and everybody is better than what we've got currently.
Mm-hmm.
And so the question is, as far as that sliver of voters who may be unhappy with Bidenomics, the economy, the border, the crime,
right,
which one of those last night would they look at? And so I'm hearing more Democrats say, "Oh, I like Nikki Haley," and that to me is interesting, and I'm just watching that very carefully.
Yeah, no question.
I like her, but any one of these people, with the exception of Christie, I think Trump's looking at him going, "Oh yeah, I'm picking my cabinet right now."
Right. Right.
Well, he did address that. I will have that for you coming up later. He made a old school WWE reference, Nick Kayal.
Okay, I'll pick up on it right away.
It was very interesting. So I'll play that for you.
Very
he was
good.
in Michigan last night doing a rally while these
With hundreds
correct.
Well, these
of
people.
Another more counter programming.
It was a non-union shop, Don. So
It was a non-union shop, but it was hundreds of workers.
okay, it was a private event, but okay.
Joe had what, 32 people?
There were 500 people there, were there not?
Private event.
855-839-1210 is how you climb in. Last night was night number 2 of looting, and we will have day 2 of the fallout and reaction from retail stores to also, we have the rap sheet. We have the arrests. Like Arby's, they say we have the meats. No, we have the deets of all the names. And I'm going to read them off one by one so these people get their 15 seconds of fame and embarrassment. Kayal and Company, we're back after this on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
We're introducing Wendy's newest addition to the morning lineup. Say hello to the Wendy's all-new English muffins. They're here and they're ready for breakfast. Choose between our tasty grilled sausage, a fresh cracked egg and gooey cheese, or that Applewood smoked bacon, fresh cracked egg and gooey cheese. All of that comes sandwiched between a warm English muffin. These English muffins are the perfect way to start the day. All you gotta do is pick one. Grab an English muffin for breakfast this morning. Choose wisely. Choose Wendy's breakfast at participating U.S. Wendy's during breakfast hours.
Virtua Health is here for you, all of you. Here for the run-of-the-mills, the out-of-the-blues. Here for everything in between. And with our Rowan University partnership, we're here, rethinking the way academic medicine feels. Welcome to a more convenient, smarter healthcare experience. And that's more good for everyone. Find a Virtua physician or location near you at virtua.org. Virtua Health, now more than ever, here for good.
The Dunat Dental Group is excited to begin their 3rd season as the official dentist of the Philadelphia Eagles. You can trust the team at Dunat Dental Group to provide the most advanced and compassionate care. From Lehigh Valley to Center City, Dunat has a location near you that takes all major insurances. If it's time for your routine cleaning or you're considering dental implants or something in between, make the Dunat Dental Group your pick. Smile like the birds. Visit PhiladelphiaEaglesDentist.com.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Donate today at carsforkids.org. That's cars with a K. Your car can be picked up as soon as the next day. Receive a tax deduction and vacation voucher.
1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Now accepting donations of land, homes, buildings, or any kind of real estate.
Hi, this is Dr. Brad Schaefer. As a podiatrist, I can tell you no two people's feet are alike, which is why I recommend Dr. Scholl's custom fit orthotic inserts. They're customized for your feet, so you get a unique solution your feet really need, not just a one-size-fits-all insole. They're clinically proven to provide pain relief for achy feet, knees, lower back, plantar fasciitis, and heels. Take the Dr. Scholl's Custom Fit Orthotics Assessment in Walmart today. Now in the foot care aisle.
Designers, excavators, engineers,
engineers, architects, listen up.
What are you doing? We're working here.
If you want to save time, effort, and money on your next underground utility project, start using Pennsylvania One Call System's Coordinate PA application. Coordinate PA is the next generation of utility coordination that allows you to easily transfer and manage your complex projects from start to finish, all the way from the designer to the excavator. Be prepared for your next underground utility project with Coordinate PA.
Makes sense.
Visit pa1call.org to learn more.
When you need to know, depend on KYW News Radio 103.9 FM.
More than 50 people have now been arrested from the looting throughout Philly Tuesday night. The second Republican presidential debate took place in California without Donald Trump, and House Speaker Kevin McCarthy says the Senate's proposal to fund the government is unlikely to advance in the House.
Get the latest anytime on KYW News Radio, now on Crystal Clear 103.9 FM.
You've never needed us more.
The Crash Proof Retirement Show will air before and after Penn State football this Saturday. Tune in at 11 a.m., then again right after the game to learn how to create your own Crash Proof Retirement game plan.
Lose weight and feel great with NJ Diet. NJ Diet uses DNA and blood work to help you lose weight and keep it off. Tune into the radio show Sunday at 2 or visit njdiet.com.
See Joe Conklin's comedy show at St. Ignatius Church in Yardley with Dennis Horan and Brendan Donegan, Saturday, November 4th. For tickets, go to joeconklin.com.
Hey, it's John Ritchie. If you've been dealing with a POS system that just isn't getting the job done and you're in the restaurant, retail, or casino business, you need to call my friends at PDQ Signature Systems. Joe Flynn and his team at PDQ have the fastest and easiest POS system to learn, use, and manage. Their all-in-one POS system will save you time, effort, and money. Whether you have a single location restaurant or thousands of locations, PDQ can help grow your business like never before. Visit PDQPOS.com.
Turnersville Jeep is having a September Jeep blowout. 2023 Jeeps are 10% off. That's 10% off Wrangler 4xEs, Gladiators, Cherokees, and Compasses this month. Choose from a massive inventory of over 250 Jeeps. And TurnersvilleJeep.com wants to pay you above market value for your vehicle today. TurnersvilleJeep.com on Route 42 in Turnersville. Drive a little, save a lot at TurnersvilleJeep.com.
You know, the last time WPHT travelers visited Italy, they discovered northern Italy. But next, we're heading south. Yes, southern Italy on a gastronomical tour of the most beautiful coastline in the entire world, the Amalfi Coast. I've dreamed of this trip for years. This is on my bucket list, and now we're going to check it off together. Join me for 12 magical days in luxury with the professionals once again from Conservative Tours, because nobody does it better than Conservative Tours. So if I'm putting my good name on the line here, I want to travel with the best tour operator in all of Italy, which brings me to my friends at Conservative Tours. A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau. Okay, here's the trip. Are you ready? We're going to take the high-speed jet foil to the Isle of Capri. It's a magical place. $52.67. That includes your airfare. Luxury hotels, fabulous dining events. We're going to remember this years from now. Just call them toll free, 888-733-9494. You can check out the entire itinerary. Just go to conservativetours.com. You'll see my picture there and a little bio, which is nice. And then all the points that we're going to visit. It's a lot. We're going to cram in there in luxury, in style. The Abbey of Monte Cassino, Italy's best-kept secret, Puglia, medieval Caserta, Sorrento, Pompeii. And yes, we'll see the sights in Rome before heading home. Next spring in Italy, see you in the Isle of Capri, 888-733-9494, conservativetours.com.
Drive in with Kayal and Company mornings 6 till 10. Drive home with Rich Zioli afternoons 3 till 7. Live and local on Talk Radio 1210, WPHT, and the free Odyssey app.
Kayal and Company, 6:52, as we put a bow on hour number one on a Thursday morning. Nick, Dawn, and Greg. Talk Radio 1210 WPHT. Free Odyssey app, live streaming on YouTube. We got a lot coming up in hour number two. We're going to get to the rap sheets and the arrests and all the details. We've got names, we've got charges. Our girl Meatball hit with 6 different felonies and also her bail. We will give you those details on the other side, as well as the big retail epidemic that's going on right now with crime and theft and looting. The businesses that are being impacted the most, not just in the Delaware Valley, but nationwide. We'll have those details for you. But as Dawn mentioned earlier this morning, Philadelphia's fine wine and good spirit stores were closed from vandalism. All stores yesterday in Philadelphia, as well as one across the border in Cheltenham Township, closed on Wednesday after at least 18 locations were broken into on Tuesday night. A few stores were open and staffed when people began stealing these items. They said yesterday, quote, "Fortunately, no employees were hurt, although some were understandably shaken," said Sean M. Kelly, the press secretary for the Pennsylvania Liquor Control Board. The decision to close 4 dozen wine and good spirit stores across the city was made, and Kelly said, quote, "in the interest of employee safety and while we assess the damage and loss that occurred." And you see some of the visuals last night as well. I saw it circulating on social media. Just glass all over the floor, busted bottles, and that's just in the wine and spirit stores. Not to mention, the Apple and the Foot Locker. I'm seeing like empty shoe boxes out on the sidewalk. I mean, it literally, Dawn, it looked like a bomb went off in these places. Like, these people were just straight up animals and savages.
Yeah, and I truthfully, I hoped they were all like teenagers who snuck out of the house. To be honest, and when they came out with that, and they're adults.
49 of the 52 are adults. We've got 3 youths, 14, 16, and 16, I believe, and of course, as you said, unnamed because they are minors,
juveniles, and maybe younger siblings of their not so fabulous, big brother or big sister, but. Yeah, I still think that they're on social media. I think this case, because they're putting as the point, even on the front of the Inquirer this morning, I mean, they're putting out a social influencer, and I think this is the first of its kind case like this, where they're saying, well, this 21-year-old, look at her with her 100,000+ followers, and
she's the face of the whole night, basically.
But because they always talk about social media, but now you have somebody who's a quote unquote influencer, who's accused of being this leader.
Well, it's time to start shutting down accounts then.
Is it?
If you can't question COVID 3 years ago, then how about we go in and shut these people's Instagrams down? How about that? So, just a thought. All right, we got to get to a break. We'll come back. We'll continue this conversation on the other side, as well as the arrests that were made. We'll give you all the details and also the retail effect nationwide that is plaguing this country. It's Kayal and Company. Hour 2 is next on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
Hi, this is Dom Giordano. September is Cholesterol Education Month, and it's time to take charge. So how is your cholesterol? For over 38 years, Rescue Natural Supplements has been a trusted partner in cholesterol support. I've relied on Rescue Supplements for years. With Rescue, you'll find specific supplements tailored to your needs. Favorites like omega-3s, red yeast rice, and more. Right now, all you have to do is just use the code DROP, D-R-O-P, to double up your order on any cholesterol product for free. Call today at 800-26-ALIVE, 800-262-5483. Speak to a knowledgeable product consultant or use the code online when you visit res-q.com, res-q.com. Again, use the code DROP, D-R-O-P, buy one, get a matching Rescue cholesterol product for free. I've personally seen the firsthand benefits of Rescue supplements. They are incredible. Remember, use the code DROP, D-R-O-P, to double up your cholesterol support order for free today.
For all of you who love to cook Italian, here's a mouth-watering message from Cento.
Big lasagna, manicotti, clam sauce with linguine, chicken parmigiana, and tuna capellini, gnocchi alla rosa sauce, pomodoro frittata, pappardelle, percitelli, pasta caponata.
How do you give those dishes authentic old-world flavor? Authentic Italian cooking begins with Cento. Cento, for taste that sings. Cento, trust your family with our family.
First-time home buyers have a one-stop trusted partner with American Heritage Credit Union.
With our first-time homebuyer program, you can earn up to a $500 lender credit. Our realtors can help you shop for your first home, and qualified borrowers can even receive up to $5,000 in first front door grants. To apply with one simple application, visit AmericanHeritageCU.org/FTH. All loans subject to credit approval. Insured by NCUA. Equal Housing Lender. NMLS 433838.
Your neighborhood grocery outlet has the name brands you love, all at shockingly low prices. But do you ever wonder how we do it? Simple. We buy opportunistic items for less and pass the savings along to you. When a brand has excess inventory from packaging or manufacturing overruns, they call us. There's no club membership needed. So stop by your local grocery outlet today and let the bargain hunt begin. Grocery Outlet Bargain Market.
Don't miss Borgata's $1.4 million Wild Winnings giveaway. This September and October, you could win a share of $1.4 million in prizes, including one of 2 new Mercedes-Benz SUVs or one of 4 Polaris ATVs. Play to earn entries for 2 grand prize drawings held Saturday, September 30th and October 28th. The Wild Winnings giveaway, only at Borgata. Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
WPHT, WPHT-HD, WOGL HD3 Philadelphia. From the Cherry Hill Volvo Studios, where relationships matter. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
Looking for a new Ford? Winter Ford has the vehicle for you. Choose from our large selection of new F-150s, Explorers, Escapes, and Bronco Sports today. Winter Ford also takes care of you after the sale. Stop in their service department with no appointment necessary. Call 800-428-4000 for offer details. Visit in person or online at winterford.com. Winter Ford, people you trust, service and value you'll love.
Hey, Joe DeCamera here. Confidence is super high this fall in Philadelphia sports, and I'm going to tell you why you should be super confident getting your car serviced at United Tire. Quality, the best in the business. Expertise, technicians who excel at their craft. Owners on site with 20 years experience and tremendous customer service. Now is the time for you to make the right choice about who services your car. United Tire and Service. For locations and information, go to UnitedTire.com. That's UnitedTire.com. Don't drive alone. Drive United.
Miller Lite has high hopes for the Phillies this season, so catch every game at the Wicked Wolf in Center City, featuring $4 Miller Lite drafts in 12-ounce cans. Wicked Wolf is Philly's newest sports-centric destination with a unique nightlife flair. Pub by day, sports party bar at night with 32 HD TVs and a 16-square-foot LED digital screen. So enjoy every Phil's game at the Wicked Wolf in Center City. Wicked Wolf, a proud partner of WIP's High Hopes Pod with James Seltzer and Jack Fritz. It's Miller time, Phillies fans. Celebrate responsibly.
Hey, Ben Salem, tell your smart speaker play 1210 WPHT.
Kayal and Company, everybody eating on a Thursday, 7:01 as we kick off hour number 2. Talk Radio 1210 WPHT, Nick Kayal, Dawn Stenzel, and Greg Stocker. As we head till 10 o'clock this morning, not sure that everybody was eating last night on the debate stage. You had your opportunity to feast and eat without the big dog being present. We'll continue thoughts and reactions on GOP primary debate number 2 in just a couple of minutes. Also, CVS, a big impact with all of these looting situations. Hundreds of stores that'll be closing up. We'll get to those details. And also some of the names and charges, as well as the details behind the arrest, the bail, and the charges for our favorite meatball, our little schlub in the tub who spent the night in the can. She got out early this morning. We'll give you those details as well. But let's get to the news. And for that, at 7:02, we go to Dawn Stenzel.
And good morning. This Thursday morning edition, September 28th, Piazza Premium Automobiles sponsors our news headlines this morning. We do know that early this morning, 2 police officers injured in a crash this morning in Philadelphia's Parkside section. So the officers were responding to reports of shots fired on Kershaw Street. And so we're awaiting word. The officers are being treated for injuries at an area hospital, but we're being told that these are non-life-threatening officers. So we wanted to headline that story for you, and glad that these are not life-threatening injuries. Obviously, we're covering the case of looting again in the city of Philadelphia with a total of 52 individuals arrested. The vast majority of those are adults, and that is contrary to what initially we heard. These were young, teenagers. They're not juveniles, most of them, the majority, 52 under arrest, including a real first, and that is a social influencer. She's 21 years old, and she is facing serious criminal charges as the Philadelphia city officials throw the book at her. Deja Blackwell, 21 years old, is accused of using her social media platform to encourage that looting, also charged with burglary. So we're looking at that this morning, and we have so much going on. We as well will have a story, senators embattled. We have, of course, we're going to talk about the dress code in the Senate with regard to Fetterman. We're talking about Menendez in New Jersey, what other fellow Democrats are turning against him. And in the city of Chester, they are locking the doors such that residents can't even get in the front door. It's locked. And so security issues there. What does that tell the community? Many questions this morning. Liquor stores, by the way, it's going to be a game time call. We don't know if liquor stores across the city of Philadelphia are going to be reopened today.
Oh.
They're assessing the damage.
Game time decision.
Give you that update.
It's like Jalen Hurts with the flu. Will he play or will he not play? We'll find out right at kickoff.
And speaking of Jalen Hurts, who did not call in sick, will headline the fact of who is calling in sick. The boss needs a break. Bruce Springsteen postpones the rest of his 2023 shows while recovering from peptic ulcer disease.
Oh, boy. You said the boss needs a break. I thought Stalker was taking the rest of September off. Different boss.
Different boss.
Okay.
Bruce Springsteen.
There we go.
We are sponsored by Piazza Premium Automobiles. Discover the luxury of the Mercedes-Benz lineup, including the midsize GLC SUV, the fully electric EQ models. Test drive today at Mercedes-Benz of Westchester, Wilmington, and now Atlantic City. Thank you, Piazza Premium Automobiles, on this dreary, cloudy, drizzly day, mid-60s. That's for today and tomorrow. Kayal and Company, headlines, News Live.
All right, Dawn, thank you very much. 7:05 this morning, as we will get to the charges and some of these individuals' details in just about 5 minutes. But last night was, supposed to be a big night for a lot of people. You had the Republican primary debate, GOP number 2, as they were at Ronald Reagan Library. And, it's interesting. I said going into it that I was not feeling the excitement, the energy. I was not ecstatic about it. But to me, the other E word, the only E word that mattered was economy, the economics, right? And going into last night, I wanted to see what these individuals would say, from DeSantis to Haley to Ramaswamy. We gave you their audio clips in the Big Take this morning at 6:15. If you missed it, go back and hit up the Odyssey app or go to YouTube. But to me, it felt very JV-ish to many extents. Obviously the big elephant not in there, not legitimately not in the room, Donald Trump. The moderators, and I like Dana Perino a lot, but Stuart Varney just didn't feel like he commanded and controlled the situation. The way they promoted it and advertised it, it's a Fox Business presentation, simulcasted on Fox News. And then also, you find out last night that the ad cost for these spots really confirms what I was feeling, and the executives and the salespeople at Fox were saying the same thing, because debate number 1, 30-second spot, a cool $495,000. Last night, you could get the same spot, same time, same bat channel, $200,000.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they're not giving it away, but it was a major discount. And I thought economic-wise last night, while there were some solid answers, Trump is the king of the economy. And nobody wowed me or won me over on that front. And I think the biggest winner of last night might have been, once again, Donald Trump, who was in Michigan.
It certainly was.
So
there's no question in my mind.
Yeah.
I want to get to this clip, and I'm sprinkling a lot of what I was going to do in the cut sheet, but I think it's important, so that's why I'm sprinkling it in throughout the show. So one of the last questions that was asked last night was by Dana Perino, and it was like a Survivor-like question where she asked everybody on the stage to vote somebody off the island, because I want to get your opinion on if you think it was an inappropriate question. But I think the concept of it is interesting.
It's creative.
Because it's true, when there's 9 candidates, they're all kind of they're all kind of taking votes from one another. If they consolidated and there was like one candidate standing to take on Donald Trump, then what would the race look like? So that is an interesting question. I think the way she framed it was not appropriate, or was not. It didn't land well on the debate stage. This is debate 10, Daniel.
And welcome back to the final minutes. I could go another hour, but we only have a few minutes. And candidates, it's now obvious that if you all stay in the race, former President Donald Trump wins the nomination. None of you have indicated that you're dropping out. So, which one of you on stage tonight should be voted off the island? Please use your marker to write your choice on the notepad in front of you. 15 seconds starting now. Of the people on the stage, who should be? I'm absolutely serious.
With all due respect, I mean, we're here, like, we're happy to debate, but I think that's disrespectful to my fellow competitors.
Nobody wants to participate.
Let's do some questions. Let's talk about the future of the country.
I want to be clear.
Let me ask you this.
If I may.
Let me ask you something.
Yeah.
Then if you won't answer that question, let me ask you this one.
Yeah.
What is your mathematical path,
Yes.
Governor DeSantis, in order to try to beat President Trump, who has a commanding and enduring lead in this race?
Screw you, everybody else.
Polls don't elect presidents. Voters elect presidents. Right. And we're going to take the case of the people in these early states. We're going to do it in a state-by-state direction. And why? Because as Reagan said in his day, this is our time for choosing. We are not getting a mulligan on the 2024 election. Republicans have lost 3 straight elections in a row. We were supposed to have a red wave with inflation at 9%. It crashed and burned. Not in Florida, it didn't. We delivered it in Florida. And so we've got to choose right. We've got to win. And we need somebody that's going to be able to serve 2 terms. So in January of 2023, they'll be able to address the nation saying, we turned the economy around, we secured the border, and we fended off the threat from communist China. As your president, I will get that job done.
Governor Christie, I believe I did see you write something. Governor Christie, I believe, excuse me, Governor Christie, I believe I did see.
All right, there we go.
I'm Stuart Varney, pipe down. I didn't think I mean, look, it was funny. Is it a little disrespectful? Perhaps. But if they actually would have went through with the exercise that Dana asked them to do, the only answer, the right answer, is Doug Burgum. I mean, if you're shedding off the dead weight one by one, you start with 7, right?
Yeah.
And that would be Doug Burgum.
Yep.
So
I think DeSantis gave the best answer out of all of them.
Yes.
With delivering on what the expectations were.
No.
Wave?
Just by saying like why ask that question? I don't want to let's talk about issues, right?
And two, if you're voting everybody off and you put everybody together and you come with one best guy, and if you took all their little ideas together, is it still? It's not going to beat Trump though.
But the concept of the question is correct though.
Mm-hmm.
If you take
mathematically
you just one person, put them up against Trump, the stats would change. The percentages would change.
Right.
Because they're kind of eating each other with the anti-Trump stuff.
Mm-hmm. Do you think? I mean, if we're trying to shed the weight here, what does debate number 3 look like? I mean, who realistically, and obviously you could sit here and argue, well, Trump's not going to lose, so they all should drop out, but that's not going to happen. So who on stage last night will not be around for the 3rd time? Do you think? I know they all say they're going to be there, but realistically, do they? Who somebody's going to have to have that come to Jesus moment where it's like, all right, it was cool, I had my moment. I had a couple of debates.
Who's the first to drop out?
And obviously Burgum's the easy answer, but
Asa Hutchinson, who wasn't even on the stage last night.
That's true. I was thinking just of the guys and gals on the stage.
Burgum will be the first to drop out. You would think Christie, but who's funding him?
I know,
because he seems to.
Tim Scott's got to go too.
But remember,
and I love Tim, but
remember Burgum is wealthy.
Yeah.
So it's your decision.
Yeah.
If you're Vivek Ramaswamy, if you're Burgum, in other words, if you're self-funded, and DeSantis is interesting because he's not self-funded. He's not a wealthy man, but he has, what did we say? Net, he has about $100 million that he's raised.
His war chest is pretty deep.
And he's a prolific fundraiser because he's not a wealthy guy.
Mm-hmm.
And so that money, is evidence of his power of fundraising. So I think you look at the money, and then if you're that wealthy individual, not for nothing, but you've worked hard for that money. How much more are you going to spend?
Right.
So to nobody's surprise, I'm sure on this program, there was one person who wanted to vote somebody off the island.
Wow.
Guess who that was?
Chris Christie.
Of course. Let's do debate 12 here, Daniel.
I believe I did see you write something on the card.
No.
What did you wager?
No, but I'll certainly tell you.
Go.
Okay. Yeah. Look, I think I've been the only one on this stage who's been clear about this. I vote Donald Trump off the island right now. And the reason I vote him off the island,
any of the people on the stage
you know what?
off the-
Every person on this stage has shown the respect for Republican voters to come here to express their views honestly, candidly, and directly, and to take your questions honestly. I have respect for every man and woman on this stage because they've done it. Vivek, put your hand down for a second, would you? I still got time, dude. So chill out. Here, look. This guy has not only divided our party, he's divided families all over this country. He's divided friends all over this country. I've spoken to people, and I know everyone else has, who have sat at Thanksgiving dinner or at a birthday party and can't have a conversation anymore if they disagree with Donald Trump.
Governor
He needs to be voted
candidates.
off the island, and he needs to be taken out of this process.
Can we get Vivek 15 seconds?
All right, you got 15 seconds,
I
Vivek.
appreciate your sense of humor. Look, I have a different view on this. I think Trump was an excellent president, but the America First agenda does not belong to one man.
No, there we go.
Okay.
Good answer.
Yeah. I like what Christie said on a variety of fronts there, actually.
It's a little kiss-assy.
Well,
it is, but both of them got, look at who got all that airtime. They commanded that. And Chris Christie, nobody outcharmed. We've been in events with him, Greg. I mean, this guy is captivating. He's charming as heck. And that was a great answer. The problem is there's a huge percentage of Republicans who love Donald Trump and hate that answer.
Right. And he's wrong on a couple of things, too. Like, oh, we can't talk about Trump. And like, dude, nobody can talk about politics at Thanksgiving, regardless of the politician. It always goes south.
Yeah, that didn't start with Trump.
Yeah. And secondly, I need Christie there where he says, pipe down, I still have time, relax or chill. I need that on my board. Absolutely. We'll get a new Christie drop. But no, the thing is, it's not about respect for your other competitors. Donald Trump doesn't have to be there because he's already served 4 years. He's polling at 50, 60, 70%. And the reason these other individuals are there for the first two primary debates is because some of them are unknowns. Some of them are polling at 5% or 8% or 13% and have to find a way to carve out a path for themselves and find a lane and cut through. So again, while the selfish side of me wants Trump there from a content standpoint, the reality is when you look at the numbers, there's nothing for him to gain. And as I said in the last hour, be careful what you wish for, Chris Christie, because that day could arrive, and when he goes upside your head and clobbers you, you had it coming. You called for it. If you want to pick the fight, that's fine. You want to be the tough guy on the block, that's fine. But when the bully punches back, just know that you started this and you were warned. And trust me, when Trump does get there, he's going to come with a vengeance. And all of these people, the only guy he might not go after is Vivek, because Vivek is such a Trump kiss ass that Trump's just going to spare him. Vivek's a good guy. He's never said a bad word. I like you, Vivek. Young, not ready, but on and on and on we go. So 855-839-1210. All right, $25,000 bail, 6 felonies, and 1 meatball. The details on the looters when we continue. It's Kayal and Company. Back after this.
I didn't love the spread when I first saw it for the Eagles-Commanders game on Sunday. But you know what? Now that I'm thinking about it, I'm all in. Right, and it's even gone up. It's gone up a point. The Eagles are sitting at minus 8.5. I would take this. I would take the points on that. The Eagles minus 1.5. Snapping to action. This NFL season with FanDuel in partnership with Valley Forge Casino. It's America's #1 sports book. Right now, new customers can get $200 in bonus bets guaranteed when you place a $5 bet. That's $200 in bonus bets, win or lose. If you've been thinking about joining FanDuel, there's no better time or place to get in on the action. You can bet on everything from spreads to player props, over-unders, so much more. Just go to FanDuel.com/Greg, FanDuel.com/Greg, and kick off the NFL season. FanDuel is the official partner of the NFL and is the official partner of 1210 WPHT. 21 and over, President PA. First online real money wager, only $10 first deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms of sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
This Philly sports season, the only action that matters is what happens on the field and what's on your plate. So when the game is over, let Gerhardt's tackle the cleanup so you can focus on celebrating the victory. Take home a Bosch stainless steel dishwasher for only $3.99. It's the quietest brand on the market, so you can set it post-game and forget it until the next pregame. Only at Gerhardt's Appliance, setting Philly sports fans up with the game day cleanup assist since 1945.
Hi, this is Howard Eskin. Look at you. Your life is under control. Errands done. Groceries, got them. Leaves raked. Be proud of yourself. It's time to give yourself a reward. You know you've been waiting all day for your favorite tasty cake treat. But which one? There are many great choices. Is it the delicious crimpet? Maybe a tasty baked pie. No matter what you choose or where you are, it's always time for a tasty cake. So choose what feels right and enjoy. You've earned it, and you know you deserve it. Tasty cake, except no substitutes.
Hey, it's Rhea Hughes. Fall is upon us, and now is the perfect time to head over to Lexus of Cherry Hill for the L-Certified Fall Collection Sales Event. It's much nicer than pumpkin spice. They have over 300 new and L-Certified pre-owned Lexus to choose from. Shop great deals and save with special finance rates on L-Certified Lexus vehicles now through October 31st. Stop in and see my friend Tony Labello and his team, or visit online at lexusofcherryhill.com. Lexus of Cherry Hill, family owned and operated.
Hey, Joe DeCamera here. Football season is upon us, and the big question, will the Birds get another ring? I don't have the answer to that question, but if you have a woman in your life that is looking for her own ring, I can tell you the answer is Family and Company Jewelers in Marlton, New Jersey. They are the only place I recommend for your engagement ring, wedding band, whatever you need. The largest inventory in the area, of course, the best prices. Family and Company Jewelers, South Jersey's diamond destination, online at familyjewelers.com. Hey, Joe DeCamera here. Isn't it time to invest in yourself? Start at PI Dental Center. With the latest in digital technology to state-of-the-art treatment, PI Dental Center is a full-service practice. 2 board-certified specialists, Dr. Glenn Wolfinger and Dr. Robert Slough, are originators of the Teeth in a Day protocol, a revolutionary treatment that delivers fixed teeth on the same day as the implants are placed. Hey, I've been a patient of PI Dental for over 20 years, and now is the time for you to invest in yourself. Visit PIDentalCenter.com to request your new patient evaluation.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6986. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. There is zero risk to you. If we can't reduce your tax debt, then you pay nothing. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have a 5-star rating on Google and Yelp and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-6986. That's 800-575-6986. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
For breakfast, lunch, and dinner, Hatfield Pork brings flavor to the table the whole family will enjoy and keep you moving through the day. With over 24 distinct flavors that can be ready in minutes, it's food you can feel good about serving. Explore endless meal possibilities with Hatfield's variety of marinated pork, ground sausage, ham, and bacon. Find your flavor with Hatfield. Visit simplyhatfield.com for recipes and to find a retailer near you.
If the market volatility of the past year has made you nervous about your retirement future, you're not alone.
So many people are waiting for the perfect time to retire. And those folks are going to be waiting a really long time, I hate to say, because there's no perfect time. The market is always unpredictable and volatile.
But that doesn't mean that it's hopeless. Jim Cipriotti has been helping people get to, through, and beyond retirement for over 20 years. And each week, he wants to help give you that freedom to retire. Listen to Freedom to Retire with Jim Cipriotti, now on Saturday mornings at 9 on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
This is Talk Radio 1210 WPHT. Free speech lives here.
.722 Kayal and Company as we continue live Thursday morning. Talk Radio 1210 WPHT. Free Odyssey app. Watch us live on YouTube. Coming up, 7:45, what's on the cut sheet? Also at 9:20 this morning, our morning mystery movie clip, and the prize today, very, very good prize. You will get a pair of tickets to see Queen and Adam Lambert on Wednesday, October 18th at the Wells Fargo Center in Philadelphia.
Really?
How about that?
Wow.
Not bad.
We're giving stuff away?
Yes.
What time again is that, Nick Kayal?
That would be 2 hours from now, 9:20.
9:20, great.
Yep. Yeah. And if Queen and Adam Lambert aren't up your alleyway, well, what about Disney World?
Yeah.
Free Disney trip at 9:50. We'll give you that keyword coming up before we wrap up today's festivities. So the festivities were going on again last night, night number 2 of looting in Philadelphia. Because you couldn't get everything in one night when you're stealing and shopping at places like Foot Locker and Lululemon and Rite Aid and Fine Wine and Spirits, GameStop, Nice Pharmacy, QX, 3X Pharmacy, T-Mobile, AutoZone, Walgreens, Cash for Gold, Family Dollar, Aldi's, and a few other establishments. It's like a Christmas list. I want something from this place. I want something from that place. And we saw some of the details coming out over the last 24 hours. Everybody's favorite meatball, Deja Blackwell, who was having a good old time on Instagram, smiling and laughing and yelling and saying things like, "Everybody must eat!" Everybody must eat. So she got locked up, and she got hit with 6 felonies.
Wow.
6 felonies. So she was charged with burglary, criminal trespassing, conspiracy, criminal mischief, riot with the intent to commit a felony, and criminal use of a communication facility, which would be the criminal use of Instagram. So you can't just go on social media and start shouting out orders to commit crimes, because that is not what the device was created for. So those are the 6 felonies that she has been slapped with. She also got hit with a $25,000 bail, which she posted. I'm assuming it was the reduction of 10%, so it was probably $250,000 reduced to $25,000. And she was able to post her bond early this morning in the wee hours of Thursday. So she is apparently back out on the streets. As Dawn said, 49 of the 52 are adults. We have 2 14-year-olds unnamed and a 16-year-old unnamed. They all went to Lululemon. And a handful of others that are adults have been hit with a litany of charges, including Ayanok Haynes, who's hit with rioting, burglary, theft, and a handful of other felonies. You have Sabri Young, female, 31 years old. Stephen Wells, male, 26. He was hit with a slew of felonies. Traquan Ward, 24-year-old male. These were all people that were at Lululemon. You go on down the list, and here's your moment of fame. Lisa Talley, Yasmin Fields, Kenneth Fry, Kyreek Leak, hey, that rhymes, Reginald Alexander. I think he played Carl Winslow on Family Matters. He's probably been out of work for a while, needed to get a new show.
Oh, man.
Gabrielle Gines, Elena Gigliotti, Petra Gonzalez, Jessica Blake, Hartzog Mashad, Isis Morgan. So even ISIS is looting these days.
Oh, boy.
That explains everything. ISIS. So nice work out of Isis Morgan. Denzel Walker, Tauheed Hill, Mikkel Reed, Denzel Walker, and the list goes on and on. I will not read every single one, but if you got a mention on the show and you got a shout out, congratulations. Your Kayal and Company t-shirt will not be arriving anytime soon. So those are some of the details, but on a serious level, we mentioned the Philadelphia area PA wine and spirit stores. Game time decision for day 2. And, of course, 18 different stores. But this is going on. This is not just a Philly thing. This is not just a big liberal blue city thing. This is a nationwide retail epidemic. And I don't know if Fauci will be consulted to come up with a booster or a vaccine for it, because the vaccine is really law and order, and DAs that prosecute crimes, police officers that are given the ability to enforce the law and bring these scumbags to justice, and then set a precedent and a message that this will not be tolerated. The interim police chief making great quotes, that's cool, but Larry Krasner is still in the chain of command, and when it gets to his desk, God knows he's not going to, pursue justice the way you would hope a district attorney would. But CVS, sadly, is set to close hundreds of stores across the country as it undergoes a complete retail overhaul as more outlets move towards online sales amidst rapid increases in crime. This story goes on to say that the major drugstore chain is coming to the end of a policy launched in 2021, which will see 300 stores closed each year, meaning by the time 2024 comes to a close, CVS will have shut down 900 stores across the country because people feel like they could go in and steal toilet paper and deodorant and all the other things that you would get at a CVS. But here's the real tough spot, and I don't know what this country does. Yes, there's other retailers like Walgreens and things like that, and other places that do have pharmacies. But did you know that CVS accounts for 1/3 of the prescription pharmacy sales in this country?
Yeah.
So this is not one of these things where, oh, it's okay, I'll just order it online, have my prescriptions and stuff mailed to me. That's very difficult to do. It's not like something Amazon offers, I don't think anyway. So what do these people do that need their medication, that need their prescriptions, that, you know, if you live in an area perhaps where you have a CVS and you don't have a car and you're in a rough area and you're not in a position where you can drive, and now all of a sudden your CVS closes up. What do? You got to have a plan B. See, I don't know that people, when you see these criminal acts of mischief and looting and rioting and vandalism and theft, like there's a major trickle-down effect. We've talked about the cost of things going up from an insurance standpoint of insuring these products as the retailer. But, you know, you've got a lot of people, you know, that might need their insulin or whatever it is. And, you know, these people's lives get ruined because of a select few bad apples that decide to do what they did in Philadelphia the last 2 nights. And as Dawn Stensland would say, it's a sin.
Yeah, I also think it's not just the crime and the looting. I think there's something else going on, and I notice it just because I have a son with type 1 diabetes, so I am always at CVS.
Mm-hmm.
And so all of a sudden they were saying, oh, your insurance company, they're charging like $800 for something that used to be a $40 copay because they want you to get it by mail. And so there's a changing marketplace in the way we think about prescription medication. And so because more people are getting it by mail, I don't like to do that because insulin must be refrigerated and it can go bad.
Good point.
And so I really like to go there and get it and be able to manage it that way. But they're really pushing the fact that they want everything to be by mail, and a lot of people are getting everything else by mail. So I think it's a changing marketplace. And so they can save a fortune by not having to hire and have all those pharmacists and all the store clerks and all of that.
So you think the crime is just kind of, while it's valid, it's more of a cop-out. It's their excuse to pivot back to, you know, more financially sound business measures?
I think they can. Everything is evolving, and then you have, you know, the generic lines and the competition for generic medication. They can get it to you cheaper.
Mm-hmm.
There's the story now with Bezos and Amazon. They've kind of topped out. And now they're going to, Amazon wants to cut out the middleman, and they want to run the grocery stores. There are a few in our region, I'll say, in the tri-state region, and they're trying that one out. So I think the business model is changing, and what we know is costly, more costly than looters, is having employees and giving them benefits and having to train them in and deal with all of that.
Yep.
And so if you can have a business model where you can just cut out all the employee, I mean, you talk about workers and union workers at the UAW level, but now think of, in general, think of our workforce in America. And the Inquirer has it at the top of the Inquirer, they're talking about cat robots. I mean, this is our battle as human beings, jobs and robotics, and the business model is evolving rapidly.
855-839-1210 is how you climb in on the show. Coming up next, the Senate last night unanimously moves to reverse the Fetterman rule. Common sense prevails once again, and also we're getting close to Halloween. Where do you see this costume? You might want to get to YouTube because this is going to be a hot seller coming up for late October. Those details on the other side. But speaking of a hot seller, the Piazza Auto Group, they're absolutely on fire right now. And they're on fire because, well, they've got 17 brands. They've got 35 locations, and they have tremendous offers available for you. Like right now, as you know, I'm in a 2023 Honda Ridgeline truck, the black edition from Piazza Honda of Springfield, and I absolutely love it. But you can also take advantage of what they're offering, and it's a 0.9% APR financing. Whether you're a truck person like me or you're a car person, now is the time to check out Piazza Honda in Springfield. They're also in Philadelphia, Langhorne, Pottstown, or Reading, and you can get special finance rates on the Civic, the award-winning Accord, the CR-V, the Pilot. By the way, the Pilot is beautiful, great SUV. Check them out right now at piazzaautogroup.com. Whether you're looking for a new or a certified pre-owned vehicle, they're going to take care of you. That's why they are my go-to for all things automotive. Getting an oil change today, complimentary on them every 7,500 miles with Honda. It's why Dawn has been working with them for so long. It's why Dawn's kid's there. My sister is inquiring. Everybody is going to the Piazza Auto Group because of the great offers, the great service, and the great people. Check them out today, piazzaautogroup.com.
We know you're excited because Eagles football is back. With the free Odyssey app, you can jump back and listen to the moments that matter, even if you missed it live. Hear Marks and Reese break down the offense, or listen to Nick Sirianni's interview with the 94 WIP Morning Show.
Yeah, I've been in a game where we scored a touchdown, and I'm fist pumping with the fans. I don't think I've done that since I played college football.
Stay close to the Eagles wherever you are this season. Download the free Odyssey app today. AUDACY.
Hi, Philly. It's Emmitt Smith again. If there's one thing I know about you folks, you're fierce competitors, tough as nails, even when it comes to pushing through aches and joint pain. But you don't have to waste that Philly grit dealing with pain anymore, thanks to QC Kinetics.
Like Emmett said, hand over the pain once and for all to QC Kinetics to get relief in your knees, hips, shoulders, and back without surgery or harmful medications. They use your body's own healing properties right at the source of the nonstop pain, making you feel like yourself again.
Come on now. You don't want a Dallas fella whipping up on you just because of that joint pain holding you back. Nah, this is a personal challenge for me, Emmitt Smith. Take care of your business. Get relief from that pain once and for all.
Challenge accepted. Go ahead. Call QC Kinetics today.
Call QC Kinetics, 215-999-3000. That's 215-999-3000. 215-999-3000.
Hey, it's Rich Zioli. When you're involved in an accident, you need a lawyer to help you maximize your recovery and get the fair value of your case. You need the law offices of Thomas G. Skopanich. My buddy Tom has been serving the greater Delaware Valley for over 25 years, and he's helped many clients. With offices located in Lansdale, Montgomery County, let Tom help you maximize your recovery and get the fair value for your case. Contact Tom at scopelawyer.com or 215-624-2211.
At Bob's Discount Furniture, when you find a complete dining set that seats 6 and comes with an extendable leaf, like my Blake set, for only $5.99.
Oh my, Bob.
And a sofa that doubles as a chaise, and a bed, and storage, like my Playscape, for only $9.99.
Oh my, Bob.
And a queen mattress with world-famous Bobapedic memory foam and an 18-year warranty, like my Treasure, for only $7.99.
Oh my, Bob.
Well, there's only one thing to say.
Oh my, Bob!
Bob's Discount Furniture.
Don't take shots just to lose weight. NJ Diet's typical results are twice as fast without any of the side effects. You will lose a contractually guaranteed 20 to 40 plus pounds in only 40 days, the natural way. Go to njdiet.com. That's njdiet.com.
This Philly sports season, the only action that matters is what happens on the field and what's on your plate. So when the game is over, let Gerhardt's tackle the cleanup so you can focus on celebrating the victory. Take home a Bosch stainless steel dishwasher for only $3.99. It's the quietest brand on the market, so you can set it post-game and forget it until the next pregame. Only at Gerhardt's Appliance, setting Philly sports fans up with the game day cleanup assist since 1945. Hey, Paoli, we know your favorite station is Talk Radio 1210 WPHT. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
Tonight, I'm gonna have myself a real good time. I feel alive. And the world, I'm turning inside out. Yeah. I'm floating around in ecstasy. So don't stop me now.
737, Kayal and Company. As we welcome you back in Thursday morning, Nick Kayal, Dawn Stenzel, and Greg Stocker hanging out till 10 o'clock here on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT. Free Odyssey app, live on YouTube. What's on the cut sheet coming up 7:45. If you're not on YouTube, get to it because we're going to show you a very new, very cool Halloween costume that is going to be a hot seller.
Is it the Kayal and Company T-shirt that I'm wearing?
It is not.
Oh,
By
okay.
the way, you could look at that on YouTube right now.
YouTube.com/@1210WPHT. I have the Kayal and Company. Excuse me, I just love the song. Ready? One.
I'm having such a good time. I'm having a ball.
If this song doesn't make you tap your feet, I don't know what's wrong with you. Okay.
And if you're not having a good time and having a ball when you're listening to Kayal and Company, you're probably doing it wrong. And it's a you problem, not us.
So you can go to 1210WPHT.com and get your own Kayal and Company Free Speech Lives Here T-shirt. I'm saying this now because we have a lot of people tuning in today, to hear debate coverage and everything like that. So 1210WPHT.com, there's a merch store there.
Mm-hmm.
You can get Zoli Army shirts there. You can get Dom shirts there. The Dawn shirt, I believe, is coming in a week or two.
Okay.
And the Kayal and Company Free Speech Lives Here shirt, along with hoodies, mugs, the bassinets, everything you could possibly want at 1210 WPHT. Oh, my Lord. It's a joke, my love. 1210WPHT.com, the merch store. Pick
Who's
them up
having
today.
a baby? You having another baby?
No.
At least he doesn't think he is.
Hope not.
Boy. Could you imagine if Stocker came home today and he was like, and his wife's like, yeah, we're pregnant.
Holy crap! That's exactly what my reaction would be.
Amazing. Yeah. All right, so we'll show you the Fetterman Halloween costume in a moment, but on a serious note, the Senate has unanimously moved to reverse the Fetterman rule, restoring a formal dress code after massive blowback. The Senate passed a bipartisan resolution yesterday to restore the formal dress code in the upper chamber, following the pushback over the loosening of the unofficial rule under the resolution, which was passed unanimously, which means every single person said, John, the hoodie's got to go.
Good night, everybody.
So John's going to retire the hoodie. The cargo shorts are going to be reserved for the weekend. And under this resolution, again, which was passed unanimously, senators will once again be required to wear business attire on the floor. Chuck Schumer confirmed a rollback of the dress code last week, and the move was quickly dubbed the Fetterman rule. However, Senator Joe Manchin, who publicly split with Fetterman over the latter's lax wardrobe, sponsored this resolution along with Mitt Romney from Utah. Quote, as senators, we should demonstrate a high level of reverence for the institution in which we serve, and our attire is one of the most basic expressions of that respect, Mitt Romney said in a statement. Quote, I'm proud to stand with my colleagues on both sides of the aisle to call for a return to a level of dress becoming of the Senate, Romney said. So, Fetterman, while you're out there taking side swipes at Mr. Menendez, all of your colleagues have said, you know what, dude, you're not in gym class. Start looking like a professional. So how about that? A victory for common sense.
Wow.
People that commit looting, you get charged with felonies. You get $25,000 bail. Common sense. John Fetterman, you don't get to go into school each day looking like the gym teacher anymore. Sorry, buddy.
So do you think this will, and I'm sure you know where I'm going here. Do you think that this will turn Philadelphia around as far as from a law and order perspective?
Oh, on the charges?
Absolutely.
You know, I got to rip Judge Janine for that, by the way.
Thank you.
Yeah, Judge Janine, she yesterday, and you know I love her, and it makes Greg want to vomit every time I profess my love to her. She was like, I think this is a turning point. I think this is the first step in the next set of shoes and dominoes to fall that, you got to give this new commissioner a chance. And I'm thinking, no, this isn't going to change. It isn't going to change anything.
Do you want to respond to it?
Yeah, you want to hear it?
Yeah, let's play the.
You got the tape?
So it starts off with who's the new commissioner, right?
Yeah, that's correct.
And,
not Stapleton. Stanford
and Mayor Kenny.
That's correct.
Are the two pieces of audio that the Five played yesterday. And,
yeah.
Judge Janine seems to think that this will make everything turn around in the city of Philadelphia.
Tonight was a bunch of criminal opportunists take advantage of a situation and make an attempt to destroy our city. It's not going to be tolerated.
I'd recommend throwing a book at them because they need to understand that this kind of action or this kind of behavior should have consequences. And if people start going to jail as a result of it, then the word will go out. They're not stupid. I mean, they're criminals, but they're not stupid.
Wow. I mean, when you look at what has happened over the last 3 years, Janine, and I give these Philadelphia police officers a lot of credit because this is what we don't see in these videos often. They went after these people. They wrestled them to the ground. They arrested them. They were doing their part in this, and we've seen holdback in many situations.
I was heartened by this.
Yes.
I love seeing the cops brawling with these kids who are stealing, adults, not just kids. And, you know, the whole idea that, you know, there will be no consequences, there's no bail, you don't have to worry about it. $112 billion last year America lost to these organized retail gangs who were committing all kinds of theft. When that mayor said, I want to throw the book at them, and that interim police commissioner basically said the same thing, there's a change of heart. And hopefully people are starting to realize this social justice nonsense is not working. It's making us all victims.
Yeah, it's starting to work. I mean, like, so we're going to give them credit for doing what they should have done for the last 3.5 years? Like, no, I'm not going to give you credit for doing what's in your job responsibilities. Like, hey, Nick, I want to give you credit for showing up this morning at 5:15. No, I'm supposed to show up at 5:15. I don't get credit for that. And I'm surprised that Judge Janine said that because she's been very adamant, and I'm of the same belief, that this will not change until you stop electing these progressive DAs and these defund the activist district attorneys and politicians and police chiefs on down the list. So while this was a little bit different and a little bit better than what we've typically seen, this is all of a sudden going to be the moment where the pendulum swings back. No, the pendulum's not going to swing back until morons stop voting for these people. And I don't have faith that that's ever going to happen in cities like Philadelphia. I know Sherrell Parker is going to be, by default, tougher and better than Jim Kenney. But do you really think we're going to have law and order as if it was a Republican? I have my doubts about that. So,
I think I don't disagree with what they're saying that it's heartening, but did they not discuss what sparked this situation, and that is Krasner going after first-degree murder charges.
Right. We've quickly forgotten about that. That's the launching of all this.
For an officer, and that's the heart of the problem, is that Krasner teed this up knowing, and they intended this. They knew that this would be an issue because first-degree murder by our Commonwealth's Constitution, first-degree murder requires that they don't make bond or bail. Mm-hmm. That's why they charged him with first-degree when they know full well, really, you're saying that a cop with a partner did premeditated first-degree murder? Really? Like he plotted it? Like he wanted to? Come on.
Mm-hmm. That's correct. So that was very interesting. So I had to rip Judge Janine a little bit. It pains me to do it, Gregory. But when you're wrong, you're wrong. You know,
he's got a little thing for Judge Janine.
If Trump's out of line, I say it. If Janine's wrong, I say it.
Well, no, it's good. You should call out everything.
I do.
We should call out crap when we hear it.
I agree.
I just think
she's
it's cute
100% wrong.
In his lonely apart,ment, he's like watching
Nick.
the Five.
I know.
She's a hot little lady, and he's expressed his. She's.
Judge still has it going on in her 70s.
I just threw up in my mouth.
Well, this will make you throw up as well, and we'll get to the cut sheet in one moment. If we could actually put this up on YouTube, if you want to vomit, it's going to be a hot seller from the Spirit Halloween shops across the Delaware Valley and throughout the country. Right now, you can actually, if you've been debating, do I want to go as Austin Powers? Do I want to go as Batman? What about going for Halloween trick-or-treating as the Braddock Troll? You can actually do that now. There's a John Fetterman Halloween costume. Get to YouTube. Right. You can look at it. He's wearing his blue sweatshirt, his blue shorts, and he's carrying his shotgun.
Yep.
Now, in the Braddock Troll Halloween costume, it does include a Carhartt hoodie, dirty gym shorts, a teleprompter, a shotgun perfect to hunt down joggers.
Oh, man, that's not right.
It does not include a single accomplishment in life.
Wow.
And the man-child size costume, one size fits almost no one.
It's hysterical.
So
it's hysterical.
Maybe we can box that in number 4 for a little bit and just give Fetterman a chance to, capitalize. Unlike the Kayal and Company T-shirts where we get nothing percentage of the sales, maybe Fetterman gets a nice cut of this.
By the way, speaking of that, I want to give a shout-out to, I think it was Rosalie. Rosalie said she ordered her T-shirt yesterday. So thank you, Rosalie. You can do that as well, 1210WPHT.com, the merch store. It's up and running.
Okay. There you go. 7:47. Let's get to a Thursday edition of What's on the Cut Sheet.
What's on the Cut Sheet?
I just want to let everybody know, Nick, Dawn, that we don't mail anything in on the show. I have 3 pages. If you're watching on YouTube, I have 3 pages of debate cuts here.
Wow.
3 pages.
Are we going to have a part 3 of the cut sheet today?
And I have 2
small print, single space.
I have 2 pages of other cuts that aren't debate stuff.
Okay.
All over it today.
Okay.
I want to start with Trump and trust me, we'll get to all the debate stuff.
I'll take other non-debate stuff for 200, Alex.
Oh, I like this. It's like a game show. I
Yeah.
mean, this is game show music.
There we go.
Don't worry. I know there's a lot of people tuning in to hear about the debate today. This morning, we have all of those cuts. But I wanted to start with Trump. Daniel, this is cut 9 from the regular cut sheet. He was in Michigan yesterday discussing, having a rally and talking about the economy and jobs and all kinds of the stuff that he should have been talking about. But he made, Nick Kayal, an old-school WWE reference.
Oh, hell
He was
yes.
talking about the GOP debate, which was happening as he was speaking yesterday. And he said this. This is cut 9, Daniel.
Got to go fast. I got to make a speech. It's all over television, this speech. You know, we're competing with the job candidates. They're all running for a job. No, they're all job candidates. They want to be in the, they'll do anything. Secretary of something. They even say VP. I don't know. Does anybody see any VP in the group? I don't think so.
Ooh.
No, that's, can you imagine? Can you imagine? They don't have a.
There you go.
The
job candidates, jobbers?
Oh, okay, which is we call basically
Yes.
the schlubs and the bums
Yes.
that go in and get beaten 5
Yes.
minutes early on.
The job candidates.
Yeah,
I love it.
The jobbers. Okay.
I mean, he meant it as somebody who, they're all positioning themselves for a job.
Right.
But
which could very well be the case. But I think, interesting enough, as along with the wrestling reference, he says he doesn't see a VP in the group. We were all thinking, okay, could it be Tim Scott? And then it's like, I think Nikki Haley would make a great VP. We know DeSantis is certainly not playing for VP, and nor would Trump want him. Vivek kind of in the cabinet somewhere. But would Trump go outside of those 7 for his VP?
Definitely.
Very interesting, which then brings the Kristi Noems into play, the Tulsi Gabbards, perhaps Carrie Lake on down the list, which, by the way, Carrie Lake has made it official. She's running for Senate. So, yeah, I think it's possible. Maybe Kristi Noem is the choice.
No.
Who do you think?
I don't think it's Kristi Noem.
Okay.
Anymore.
We've got 3 outsiders that are
I
not
love
competing.
her.
You mean Christy Lewandowski?
Ah.
That guy, Corey.
He slays, Don. He slays.
Could the Bobes be in play?
No, the Bobes.
No.
RFK Jr.
Wow.
No.
Okay.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, there's only so many options for Trump. If those 7 on stage are not in the group in consideration,
I mean,
and the 4 I just that's 11 people scratched off right away.
He says things off the top of his head all
I
the
know.
time. That doesn't mean anything.
I know. Just an observation.
So who do you think is going to be, Don? This is very interesting. Inquiring minds want to know.
They were.
Okay, enough with that.
All right, I'm not going to go into the bag.
Who do you think?
Because I love
is going to be?
Kristi Noem, but that.
Who do you think is going to be the VP? You said no. Who do you think is going to be the VP?
I think that Trump would entertain. I know that you're thinking, oh no, he wouldn't entertain Nikki. It's going to be a woman.
Yeah.
It's going to be a woman.
I still think I would go, if it was me, I would go Nikki Haley. Whatever beef you might have, I'd go Nikki.
It could be Nikki. It could be, and I do love I do love our independent girl. I don't know if she would ever.
Who's our independent girl?
I want to call her Rogue.
Oh, Tulsi Gabbard.
But I like Tulsi.
Yeah.
Tulsi would be great. Actually, yeah, I forgot about her. Scratch RFK. I'm going Tulsi.
You're going Tulsi.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be a woman. I think Trump has made up his mind that it's going. I think it's going to be a woman.
It's going to either be RFK Jr. or Tulsi Gabbard. Put your money on it right now.
Yeah, that would pay off a big payoff. Be good odds are there. I mean, if it's Trump and RFK, that's going to break the internet.
It's not. Trump's gonna. I'm telling you. My vibe is he wants a woman, and so a woman of ethnicity is fascinating. And so Tulsi, though, she's so strong-willed. I don't know, where that goes, but if it could be Trump Tulsi, that's huge because I think Trump last night. I'm worried. I am worried about the look of last night. And even though there were some pipe fitters and iron workers and so on that are in the union, it was a non-union shop.
Yep.
And when I initially heard that, I was like, "What?"
Yeah, that was a mistake on his part.
I feel it was a misstep.
He should have gone to the picket lines like Joe Biden did.
Yep.
That's the God's honest truth.
Before the 2020 election, we were that summer before we were at multiple family events, and I remember sitting at a picnic table with a bunch of family members, and there were some family members, the guys yakking it up and busting each other's chops over some beers, family event, and the union guys just said Biden's got our back, and I was like, what? And these are people who liked Trump and I think voted for Trump in 2016. And felt like, he doesn't have our back this time.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think the union vote, when you think about the union vote in the UAW is nearly 150,000 people, but then you look beyond the UAW and you just look at that union vote.
Mm-hmm.
And then what about police unions? Because I think Trump has had the police vote, but I think all of this is in play. Because the teachers' union is a huge union, but the Democrats have locked that one up.
Well, the Democrats have the teachers' union on lock for sure. But to that extent of locking things up, I can't see how the Republicans could lose the police union. I mean, how can the Dems that started a defund the police movement win that group over? If the Republican Party would ever lose that at any point in the next, 6-8 years and a few election cycles, that is a drastically bad sign for the GOP. Because we know there's a lot of razor-thin margins. You're fighting to get the Gen Z vote. The things that you think you have locked up in the bag, you can ill afford to lose.
And so think about the National Order of Police, about 364,000 members. I was just looking it up. So that's, so let's say there's 1/3 people there. Look at the teachers. The union votes matter, and they're splintered. But if Biden just gets across the board the UAW and they feel like, hey, Trump was with the scabs, that tips the balance.
Agreed. He basically spent the evening last night hanging out with corporate. That's the God's honest truth.
Yep.
That's how it looks. He spent the evening last night hanging out with corporate.
And Vivek said last night as well in his opening on the economy, he does not like the union bosses. He likes the union workers.
Yeah, the way he said it, though, was a little. I know. All right, so Chris Christie last night gave Donald Trump a new nickname.
Oh, boy. So he's plagiarizing Trump. Trump's the nickname giver.
Do you think this will stick? Debate 11. By the way, if you go on social media this morning, Chris Christie's Twitter is all this quote.
Okay.
So, debate 11, guys.
And not just in our cities, but we need law and order back everywhere. We need law and order back in our suburbs. People are threatened there. We need it in our rural areas. People feel threatened there. And we need it in Washington, D.C. also. And Donald Trump should be here to answer for that, but he's not. And I want to look at that camera right now and tell you, Donald, I know you're watching. You can't help yourself. I know you're watching, okay? And you're not here tonight not because of polls and not because of your indictments. You're not here tonight because you're afraid of being on the stage and defending your record. You're ducking these things. And let me tell you what's going to happen. You keep doing that, no one up here is going to call you Donald Trump anymore. We're going to call you Donald Duck.
All right. I want to ask Governor DeSantis, you...
Oh, boy. He went Donald Duck.
So his social media this morning has all been Donald Duck.
Uh-huh. No, that's coming from the guy who earned the nickname of
Sloppy Chris Christie.
Sloppy Chris Christie or Donald Duck. I mean, my God. Donald Duck is like something I would hear from a third grader. That's what my daughters got off the bus today and hey, Daddy, is Joe Biden going to beat Donald Duck? What?
You told us that, right? That one of your daughters when she was little called him Donald Duck.
Yeah, it was a few years ago, and this was I think right before the pandemic in kindergarten, 2019, or it was during the pandemic once they got back in like 2021, where they came home with the Donald Duck thing, and I just looked at my wife and I said, I'm like, where'd you get that from, honey? And she said, the teacher. Mm-hmm. And I just looked at the corner of my eye to my wife, and my wife knew that I was a little steamed up by that. And I'm like, see, Kristen, this is what I'm talking about. These damn teachers, and we all know how they vote for the most part. So I kind of left it at that point. But yes, my Chris Christie and my daughters on the same page with nicknames.
Yeah, it's a little low energy, that nickname.
Because he's trying to be a wannabe. Trump, love him or hate him, and I love him, but he knows how to create a nickname.
That's right.
And nobody does it better, right? I mean, when he gives somebody a nickname, it sticks, which is why it's dreaded.
It's funny because personally, I like Chris Christie. I'm not talking about political.
Right.
Personally, I like him, but I can't not hear Sloppy Chris Christie now. Right. Every time
Sloppy Chris Christie.
I called him that yesterday, like just out of. It's like, blah, 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 and Sloppy will be there. And
he hits everybody with the nicknames.
I know.
DeSantis.
I know.
And it's just the delivery and the tone of his voice and the way Trump speaks. It works. Chris Christie saying Donald Duck. See, that was too forced.
It was.
He scripted that. That was like a planned promo. Yeah. Whereas I think, and maybe Trump does script it, but he delivers it so raw and organically that it doesn't come off too polished.
To use wrestling terms, Nick, we like it better when it's a shoot.
A shoot.
And that was a work.
That's correct. That's correct. A work is staged, a shoot is unscripted.
There's 5 people that know what we're talking about, but those
you
5 people
you got to stop going in the weeds. We're going to lose all our listeners. The metrics are going to go down.
But Chris Christie calling him Donald Duck, that is not a KO nickname, right? So he still is mitigating his odds to work. He still wants to work for Trump when he's president. Mm-hmm. So because it's kind of it's just a nickname.
Chris Christie, as expected, just went balls to the wall against Trump. Just every comment he had, like they were all about Trump. I think DeSantis was the only other person that shot at Trump. But he said this about, and I think you referenced this, where they were talking about the economy in the very beginning, about Trump hiding behind the walls of his golf club. This is debate 2.
They have failed, and they're in the spot they're in now because none of them are willing to tell the truth. None of them are willing to take on the difficult issues. They just want to keep kicking the can down the road. And the inflation that Nikki spoke about is absolutely right, and it's caused by government spending. And that's why people all across this country are suffering tonight. And yet we don't get any answers because Joe Biden hides in his basement and won't answer as to why he's raising the debt the way he's done. And Donald Trump hides behind the walls of his golf clubs and won't show up here to answer questions like all the rest of us are up here to answer. He put $7 trillion on the debt. He should be in this room to answer those questions for the people you talk about who are suffering. And if the government closes, it's the blame. It is to the blame of everyone in Washington, D.C., who has failed to do their job and just plays to the grandstand.
Trump is hiding behind his 7-iron with Nick Kayal at a Bluestone Country Club. He's a coward. I would ask Chris Christie this question, whether I'm a moderator or I'm somebody debating him. I would say, Chris, let me flip it around. If you had a 50-point lead, 60-point lead, or if I was beating you, Chris Christie, you were beating me 46-13, would you show up to debate, especially after you already served 4 years? And a lot of your track record speaks for itself, because We could say, and here's the thing: when he claims that Donald Trump doesn't want to be held accountable for, what he might have failed at. If I'm like, does Christie not realize that Trump's easily going to hit back with his exit poll results in New Jersey? What was Christie's exit poll with 9% approval when he left office? I mean, come on.
One more on Christie. By the way, Wendy on the YouTube chat says Christie is like a scorned woman with Trump.
Yes,
he's got BTE as well. He's got big Trump envy.
The question is on immigration. So of course, Chris Christie took that as a way to go after Donald Trump. This is debate 3, Daniel.
You supported a path to citizenship. But when you ran for president in 2016, you flipped, saying immigrants should be tracked like FedEx packages. Where do you stand now on a path to citizenship for 11 million of undocumented immigrants?
Well, the problem is that since no one has done anything since we first had this discussion 13 years ago, we're not in a position to be able to do any of that anymore. What we have to do now is first treat this like the law enforcement problem it is. Our laws are being broken every day at the southern border, every day. And Joe Biden and his crew is doing nothing about enforcing that law. They are letting it go. And by the way, they announced during the presidential race they were going to let it go. And we need to have a president who acts like I did as governor, enforce the law first and foremost. And that means what I'll do on day one is sign an executive order to send the National Guard to partner with Customs and Border Patrol to make sure that we stop the flow of fentanyl over the border, but also to make sure that we send a much different message. We want you here in this country to fill the 6 million vacant jobs we have, but only if you come here to follow the law and only if you come here legally. If you come here illegally, we will apprehend you and we will send you back across the border from which you came. And the fact is that until we set a law and order agenda in this country, not only now but in the future, we won't be able to continue this. And I'll tell you this. Donald Trump failed on this as well. He said he was going to build a wall across the whole border. He built 52 miles of wall and said Mexico would pay for it. Guess what? I think if Mexico knew that he was only going to build 52 miles, they might have paid for the 52 miles.
Thank you, Governor. Governor Haley.
I mean, his answer was decent.
It was pretty good, but also you have to look at the numbers of Biden versus Trump, and also Biden compared to Obama on illegal people coming into the country. I would take it a step further. To me, this is not even just a law enforcement thing, because that sounds like police. That sounds like something local or at the state level. This is a military failure. This should be a military enforcement where you have active duty members at the border stopping and deterring these individuals, not just coming across and shipping them back over. Look, you want to come here legally, by all means. There's a lot of jobs available and look, they have a great work ethic. They want to work hard. I appreciate that. There's a lot of lazy Americans that don't want to work. But to me, this is more than just law enforcement. This is the sovereignty and security of our nation. This is a military thing to me.
And look, a lot of Republicans, a lot of MAGA people are still PO to Trump for not building the wall that he promised he was going to do. So
they blocked him every which way. He did
face resistance.
He thought he actually was thinking outside the box, which I swear to God is that the bureaucrats there who hide in the shadows, who really control things because they're not elected officials, hated the fact that Trump started looking at all the money and tapped into that big military budget, the Pentagon budget, and he said, you know what, this has to do with national security. Let's have the Pentagon, and he sucked money out of that Pentagon budget to pay for the wall, which was ingenious.
I pissed off the YouTube chat. Chevy, I'm like, shut up, Greg. How dare you say anything
But he did
against him?
He did, and now it's sitting there like deteriorating, which is crazy because we paid for the freaking thing, right?
They were selling panels off.
That's nuts.
I know.
Just out of spite. I mean, that's like, imagine if you paid for a fence in your yard and then you got, like, you were going through a nasty divorce.
Yeah.
And so to spite your spouse, you just said, no, we're going to let all the fencing just sit there and rot.
Yeah.
Right? That's what that is.
I'm just telling you, he PO'd off a lot of people.
Not true support, no.
Okay.
He didn't.
Can I get those border wall panels
Ann
on
Coulter
eBay?
and Matt Drudge.
Well,
ask Ann Coulter and Matt Drudge.
Ann Coulter, is she still drinking Chardonnay and
I'm just
pills
saying.
at the same time?
I'm just saying you can't say no, he didn't piss anybody off. Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
Kooky Ann Coulter doesn't count.
I didn't say she wasn't kooky. I'm just saying that you can't say no, he didn't upset anybody. He absolutely did.
That's a good nickname right there, Kooky Ann Coulter.
Well, she is.
How does that sound?
That sounds pretty good.
Let's stick with immigration here. This is debate 4, Daniel. This is Vivek Ramaswamy on the immigration issue and what's happening at our southern border. By the way, I believe, you said economy, Nick, as far as the most important issues now.
Correct.
I would put economy and the southern border right underneath that.
Okay.
The immigration issue. This is debate 4, Vivek Ramaswamy on immigration.
You propose, quote, universal deportation for all undocumented immigrants and their children, even if the children are citizens of the United States. Under what legal premise will you expel U.S. citizens?
So the first thing I want to say is I agree with everything. The Republicans on the stage are on the right side of this issue. Militarize the southern border, stop funding sanctuary cities, and end foreign aid to Mexico and Central America to end the incentives to come across. But I do go a step further. You're right about that, Ilya. I favor ending birthright citizenship for the kids of illegal immigrants in this country. Now, the left will howl about the Constitution and the 14th Amendment. The difference between me and them is I've actually read the 14th Amendment. What it says is that all persons born or naturalized in the United States and subject to the laws and jurisdiction thereof are citizens. So nobody believes that the kid of a Mexican diplomat in this country enjoys birthright citizenship. Not a judge or legal scholar in this country will disagree with me on that. Well, if the kid of a Mexican diplomat doesn't enjoy birthright citizenship, then neither does the kid of an illegal migrant who broke the law to come here. And as the father of 2 sons, it is hard for me to look them in the eye and say, you have to follow the law when our own government fails to follow its own laws. That's how we really go the distance and solve this problem and restore the rule of law in the United States of America, because that is part of what it even means to be an American.
Senator Scott, you oppose.
I'm not really sure what Vivek's got going on with the hair in that video. It's kind of like Kramer from Seinfeld or like a Conehead thing going. I don't know who he's trying to imitate, but...
Let me try to. We gotta all try to do the big Vivek.
What do they call that? A blowout?
Well, Sid on the YouTube chat says he looks like a kid from Kid and Play.
It's really bizarre. I agree with him on the military aspect of the border. But, as bad as the border is, I think there's an argument to be made if you're trying to sit here and debate what is the second biggest issue facing this country if we all are in agreement that the economy is number one. You want to argue border too? Okay, that's fair. But I think you can also make the case that the crime in this country is the second biggest issue from the standpoint of look at what we're seeing in Philadelphia, look at what we're seeing nationwide. And, if we can't get our own citizens under control with law and order, what are we going to be able to do with people from another country? It's almost like, clean up your own mess before you worry about the external messes. Well, it's becoming an internal mess when they get here. But I think there's an argument to be made for the lack of law and order in this country at number 2. I think most people would take the border, but
just to clarify and fact check Chris Christie on this entire border issue.
Yeah,
I just want to point out that, and this is U.S. News and World Report, not a right wing organization reporting. And I'm looking this up. The vast majority of the 458 miles of border wall constructed in places where some kind of barrier. Okay, there were existing that they fixed, but when you look at 458 miles, it was not 52 because some of it they had to bolster or rebuild. But Trump, despite the fact that the environmentalists and the Democrats and everybody was against him, including fellow Republicans, he was the one who took the $15 billion from that Defense Department budget. But it's technically 458 miles, unprecedented, and that was among fierce fighting and criticism.
And to your point, too, with the pushback and the resistance, it's just staggering to me in this country, the amount of money we have from a military standpoint that goes overseas. Yet, if you wanted to, and you wanted to finish all 458 miles or whatever it is, it's pennies on the dollar with what's in our defense budget. Like, this is one of the, like in the locally here, I'll localize it. If Philadelphia wanted to really clean up Kensington, they could finish it in a day.
That's right. To your point, do what Trump did. Let's have, as a matter of fact, since we have a Department of Education and we have violence in schools and all these problems with schools and drug dealers and gangbangers and all these shootings outside schools, make that under the umbrella of the Department of Defense budget, protect our schools, right?
Yep.
But with just remember your tax dollars, all of our tax dollars wasted because on day one, when President Joe Biden took office, one of the first things he did, much like a ex-spouse in a nasty divorce who just wanted to spite Trump, one of the first executive orders, nope, we're not. We're going to halt construction of Trump's border wall.
Yeah.
That was what that was. And you know what? It's an insult to every one of us, the taxpayers. They should have kept construction of that wall, but he stopped it.
Where there's a will, there's a way. I firmly believe that. And when it doesn't happen, you have to ask yourself one of two reasons. Do they have the money to do it? And if they do, why aren't they? Because at the end of the day, follow the money. And what's more profitable? War is profitable. And as we said in the big take this week, illegal immigrants coming to this country from the southern border, that's also profitable. You can make more money running one of these facilities than you can driving a UPS truck.
The question of immigration, I want to stick with immigration here because Tim Scott attacked Vivek Ramaswamy for being in business with China. They all kind of went after Vivek, and he didn't really know how to respond to this, which wasn't a good look for him. This is debate 5, Daniel.
Yeah, there's no doubt the fact that when you think of the Constitution and the 14th Amendment, it was certainly written as it relates to slavery, not as it relates to illegal immigration. It's been applied to illegal immigration. So the challenge that we face is, in fact, one that has to do with whether or not the people that come here are under the jurisdiction of our laws. And frankly, if you come here illegally, you are not. Now, surviving a Supreme Court argument is something I can't tell you. But from a perspective of the Constitution, I think it's simple that clearly it was designed for slavery and not for illegal immigration. I'll go one step further, though. When we have a conversation about the things that are happening on this stage, we think about the fact that Vivek just said we were all good people, and I appreciate that because last debate he said we were all bought and paid for. And I thought about that for a little while and said, you know, I can't imagine how you could say that knowing that you were just in business with the Chinese Communist Party and the same people that funded Hunter Biden millions of dollars was a partner of yours as well. It's not nonsense.
So look, here's what I want to respond. These are good people who are tainted by a broken system, and it's not the fault of anybody who's involved.
Some of us are tainted.
Excuse me. Thank you for speaking while I'm interrupting. While I'm speaking.
No, you said if
I may finish.
You can't be on both sides.
Gentlemen, you'll have your turn.
One of the challenges we should have a debate between Vivek and
business in China. Everybody knows that.
If I may address,
look at DeSantis trying to break it up with the rest.
That's what we need to be.
I actually agree with Ron DeSantis.
Speaking at the same time, no one can understand
exactly.
your message.
So if I may, I agree with Ron DeSantis on China. When every other CEO expanded into the Chinese market, you know what I did with my first company? We opened a subsidiary in China. But you know what I did that was different than every other company? We got the hell out of there. And when I started my next company, Strive, right when that's years ago. Right when I started my next company, Strive, to compete against BlackRock. Excuse me. To compete against BlackRock, I made a commitment that we would never do business in China. And I will say something.
Yes. I think you have more than time to explain your point.
Well, if I was interrupted by a lot of people here, and I want to be respectful because I believe these are good people, but I do not believe in these. We're sitting here in the Reagan Library.
Yes, I wish you
in the honor of Ronald Reagan's library, if I may. From one admirer of Ronald Reagan to another. From one admirer of Reagan to another, we cannot see violate Reagan's 11th commandment.
I want to hear about that.
Let's have a policy debate.
What's going on?
Let us have a policy.
Oh my God! It's like The View.
Let's have a policy debate. And the right answer is we need to declare independence from China, and I will see that through.
Vice President Pence.
Wow. Tim Scott takes the gloves off. I asked yesterday, would Tim Scott actually show up and be a part of the debate? We know physically he is there. But, yeah, he dropped the China bomb basically right on Vivek. You could tell that bothered him. It's been a rough stretch for Vivek from the Mehdi Hassan, or the Ari, whoever he was on with. Mehdi Hassan. Now
he's a loser.
He's got the hair issue going on now. Tim Scott just checked him a little bit. You could tell that bothered Vivek a little bit.
Yeah.
When you go China on somebody and they don't have a rebuttal.
Yeah, but no, he had a rebuttal. They just kept interrupting him, but he got it out there that he left China. I thought he finally made the point.
2023.
Yeah, he left it a couple of months ago.
They said that he left. So, like, when he announced he was running for president, he did.
And
that was their point.
In all fairness, like, yeah, we all I think agree about a lot of things on the China stuff, but like it's very difficult to have like no involvement and not have a little bit of your hands involved with China. Although the punch that I think Scott throws that lands is when he drops Hunter Biden's name. And if you look at it, DeSantis was somewhere between a referee and laughing and enjoying it.
Well, the moderators were terrible. They should have done something, right? Like,
well, there's no alpha moderator there. Mm-hmm. They're all very soft-spoken people.
It's absurd. This China debate is absurd to me. Think about all the food and food byproducts we get from China.
That's a good point.
When you go and you want to buy your salmon and it's the farm-raised salmon, where do you think that farm-raised salmon came from? Where do you think your tilapia came from? And not just the food, all the food, but then the gluten, the ships of gluten.
I don't know. Mine says Alaska, so I don't know where. I don't know where you buy yours.
You have to look for the label. No, I'm not going to get the. I'm with you. But U.S. imports, China remains the major source of U.S. imports of furniture, bedding, lamps, toys, games, sports equipment, paint, and other miscellaneous manufactured items. And that doesn't even count all the food that you're eating. Or clothing that you're getting from China. It's all coming from China. So this whole China is our enemy. Then why are we eating their food, wearing their clothes? Why are we buying iPhones and gym shoes, Nike?
What the reality is,
right?
And I can't say the word on the radio, but we, the United States, are China's B word.
Yes,
is what we are.
Yeah.
Thank you. And so this whole China thing that they're the communist enemy. Well then, okay, stop it then. Nixon started it, right? Nixon was the one who made them our trading partner. So, okay, then just stop. But they're not going to do that.
Of course not. There's a genocide going on over in China right now. Nobody talks about it because they're our business partner.
Yeah.
They're not just, they're not our business partner. The thing you said earlier, we owe them so much money, they can't afford to let us fail, nor can we afford to give them up.
By the way, if you're watching right now or you're listening, please hit the subscribe button on YouTube, youtube.com/@1210WPHT. We have a ton of interest in today's show, obviously. So go to youtube.com/@1210WPHT. You can watch along. We stream every morning starting at 6 a.m. for 4 hours every day. You can watch us, you can rewind, you can listen, whatever you want to do on YouTube. Just hit the subscribe button right now, please. Thank you.
Yes.
Vivek Ramaswamy said this. So this is making the rounds on liberal Twitter, and I want to. I know, Nick, you're going to agree with this because I think you said something like this in the past, but I just want to see how you think this plays to if we're talking to a general audience, how this plays. When the Vivek Ramaswamy said this on transgenderism and transgenderism in kids. Daniel, if we could play this one.
Identity without parental notification. Governor Christie told Stewart last week that he would pass a federal law to protect parental rights. Would you try to do the same?
I have to be very clear about this. Transgenderism, especially in kids, is a mental health disorder. We have to acknowledge the truth of that for what it is. I met two young women early in this campaign.
Specifically on parental rights in schools.
Parents have the right to know. And you know what the hypocrisy of this is? Even New Hampshire failed to actually get past a piece of legislation here. The very people who say that this increases the risk of suicide are also the ones saying that parents don't have the right to know about that increased risk of suicide. And I'm sorry, it is not compassionate to affirm a kid's confusion. That is not compassion, that is cruelty. I met two young women, Chloe and Katie, early in this campaign, who are in their 20s, now regret getting double mastectomies and a hysterectomy. One of them will never have children. And the fact that we allowed that to happen in this country is barbaric. So I will ban genital mutilation or chemical castration under the age of 18, and parents have absolutely the right.
Would you try to pass a federal law that says parents should have that right?
We are going to require states absolutely have to follow that through.
Governor Burgum
we stand for parental rights.
Because you in your state, this is.
I love his answer there. He's 1,000% spot on and 100%
a federal ban though.
I absolutely I do. First of all, I do think it's a.
What happened to states' rights, guys?
Yeah.
I know.
No, I didn't say it.
Okay.
Here's the thing. I on its surface, I like that, but because I hate federal anything.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a states' rights advocate, and I think that's always a mistake.
I can set aside my disdain for federalization of anything if it means protecting children. So that's kind of where I would, acquiesce a little bit and go that far, because I do think it's a mental health disorder. I do think it's something that thrives and flourishes on TikTok. And the whole school choice and parental rights, the thing that steams me up more than anything is the fact that some of these teachers in these school districts and these educators actually believe it's their right to protect children and not tell their parents that. Like, no, the schools are not teaching and raising my child.
And this is, as we've talked extensively about the fact that this very issue is happening locally, and there are many lawsuits across New Jersey as those school districts, and we've reported on it, we've discussed it. I'll just throw that in there just as a reminder. But the way that I think this could be solved is that at a federal level, in other words, Congress could pass federal legislation that would allow they could say you can sue. And so the answer to this is just to allow lawyers in the federal courts to move forth and to be able to sue in federal court, because the lawyers always win. Once all these doctors and surgeons who think, oh, this is a money pathway, because the government, the Biden administration right now, as we've reported on, it's happening here in Pennsylvania and in our area and in our region and across the country. The Biden administration is earmarking dollars that are funding many of these surgeries that we're talking about. Okay. So the way to shut it down is just to say, okay, we're going to pass it so that, yep, if this happened to you, he talked about Chloe and the other young lady who are now basically sterilized and scarred.
Sad.
You can sue in a federal courtroom and go for it and make it a pathway, as a legal pathway. Once the hospitals know that they can be in for $20 million to Chloe, boom, it's going to be shut down.
I think I saw by the year 2028, it'll be a $32 billion a year business.
What happened to parental rights, guys? I mean, if you want to, if you're a parent, we say this all the time, right? Like, if you're a parent, you get to decide what happens to your child. So, if it should be up to the parents. If they want to mutilate their kids, I don't know. Who are we to stop them?
Yeah, I mean, I don't try. Like I've always said, I don't tell people how to parent. I just tell you how I would do the parenting if it was my kid. But it's such a slippery slope, though. You believe that, and then it's like, no, you shouldn't be able to do that to your 12-year-old.
But it starts with this, and Nick, it goes into the banning of TikTok, which we're going to get to in 1 second. It's all we're doing all this in the name of protecting our children. That is a very slippery slope. It's a very slippery slope.
I see this clearly. And that's why when Ron DeSantis in Florida, when they said parents don't have the right, they're trying to stop a parent from allowing their kid to go forth with the surgery. I support parental rights, and I support states' rights. That's why the way to solve this is to say, in places like Florida, I think let the parents have the rights. I believe in the parental rights because I believe that the government is trying to come in between parents and children. And so it should never be a slippery slope. You, as the parent, you are your child's, not just their legal advocate. You are their legal guardian, and I make decisions. I have teenage kids.
Really?
And I know that it's a shocker. You don't know I have teenagers, but I am still their legal voice. That's the way it is. That's the way it should be, which is why I say the answer to this is to say, okay, parents, okay, doctors, you want to do this? And the parent says, okay, fine. But hospital, you're going to pay when that kid turns 22 and decides, oh, I'm a one and I wish I could have boobs and kids. Guess what? Give Chloe $25 million or $100 million. And that way your gazillion dollar business that they're seeing goes down the tube. That's the way to do it.
I'm also mystified by the left, how because I don't I don't criticize or mock or minimize mental health. I think mental health is a legit thing. But I think there's many on the left that say everything is mental health. Everything is a mental health issue. I think there's a lot of people that are just lazy and claim that it's too tough. But yet they want to say everything is mental health, mental health, mental health. Yet when you hit them with this trans idea, you're not in the wrong body. It is a mental health disorder. Like, no, it's not. Like, well, how do you advocate all the time for mental health and then try to say this is not a mental health breakdown? Because the reality is this. You can claim your whatever gender you want to be on your application, and there's 11 options. And I always come back with the answer, and nobody has ever given me a sound, logical rebuttal. If you're saying there's 12 genders, why do the doctors only perform gender surgery with the outcome being one of two things?
Let me preface what I'm going to say by saying I don't disagree with anything you're saying, Nick. But I'm just saying that his response there of transgenderism is a mental health disorder. It plays great on talk radio. I know everybody in the YouTube chat agrees with it. I'm sure most people listening agree with it. I think that like in a general election, the suburban mom out there who may have a transgender kid or a kid who's kind of mixed up, I think that does not play well.
So you think this is a losing stance to take
to a group that they desperately need, meaning the GOP.
So do you think this is as much of a misstep as Roe v. Wade?
I didn't say it was a misstep.
Okay.
This is a GOP primary
because
debate.
A lot of people
and he's not going to be president, so it doesn't matter.
Well, just to clarify, Vivek Ramaswamy frequently he's quoting the American Psychiatric Association, which lists, if you look up, in other words, if you go to school for this, and you have to be a doctor, right? This American Psychiatric Association defines a gender dysphoria diagnosis, although I will say that the National Institute, the government, had said that it's not necessarily a mental disorder, so they've tried to mitigate that.
Because if it officially becomes one, doesn't it show up in the DSM-4 book then?
Yes, it has been, Nick.
Okay.
So what I'm just going to say with Vivek, a lot of people don't realize this, but he's quoting a long-standing diagnosis that is according. He's looking at the book.
Yeah.
Also, let's be honest here too. Like a kid dressing up in women's clothes at a young age, and a kid that goes in for surgery to remove their body parts, way different.
Two totally different
Two
things.
totally
Correct.
different things.
Yes.
Like I think everybody. When I talk about the suburban moms, I think everybody can get behind the genital mutilation thing, under the age of 18. I think it should be under the age of 35, but that's not. But that's completely different than saying all transgenderism.
Yeah, well, and I also think too, you got to look at it from a percentage standpoint. I think we gave you the numbers a while back. 9% of Americans are under the LGBTQ plus umbrella, and only 2% of that 9% is actually trans. So, when we do these polls, 70% in the Gallup polls say men should not compete against women in sports as a trans in the locker room. Everybody that has the same general feelings and beliefs and opinions that you're hearing on this show right now, that is the predominant opinion and view of Americans.
Yeah.
Yet you have that view, and then it's the small vocal minority that smear everybody else, even if those people don't publicly say that they think this is a mental health disorder in fear of being labeled X, Y, or Z.
One more, and then we should break. We played this earlier, but I want to play this again for the people just tuning in now at 8:30. This was a question on technology and the effects it's having on our kids, since we're kind of in this space here with kids and how technology and everything affects it. Banning TikTok was a big stance. I think Vivek is all for it. This is debate 8, Daniel.
So I'm here to tell you, no, I don't know it all. I will listen. I will have the best people, the best and brightest in this country, whatever age they are, advising me. We will be probably many of the people on this stage included. That's how I built my companies. I want to be challenged. I want people who disagree with me. That's what makes America great, because we're not a perfect nation. We're founded on the pursuit of perfection. That is what makes America great. And that is why we will end it once we win this election.
I have to jump. I have to jump in here. I'm sorry. I have.
Was speaking.
There's one person on this.
This is infuriating because TikTok is one of the most dangerous social media apps that we could have. And what you've got, I honestly, every time I hear you, I feel a little bit dumber for what you say because I can't believe that here you've got a TikTok situation. What they're doing is these 150 million people are on TikTok. That means they can get your contacts, they can get your financial information, they can get your emails, they can get text messages, they can get all of these things.
This is very important for our party.
Exactly what they're
this
doing.
is very important
and
for our party, and I'm going to say
you've gone and you've helped China make medicines in China, not America. You're now wanting kids to go and get on the social media that's dangerous for all of us. You went and you were in business with the Chinese that gave Hunter Biden $5 million. We can't trust you. We can't trust you. We can't have TikTok in our kids' lives.
This is very important.
Mr. Ramaswamy, you have 15 seconds.
I think, excuse me.
You have 15 seconds, Mr. Ramaswamy.
Thank you. I think we would be better served as a Republican Party if we're not sitting here hurling personal insults and actually have a legitimate debate about policy following Reagan's 11th Commandment in his honor. And the answer is that is what actually makes our country strong. And I believe in these people. These are good people on the stage. They disagree, but let's have a legitimate disagreement. That's what I would say.
Stuart, can we get back to the question? The question is on
Governor
technology.
DeSantis, I'm going straight
on this stage
Sir,
that has a
we will have to.
That was Doug Burgum.
Yeah,
Burgum.
Doug's chipping in a little bit. Welcome to the party, pal. I think they both make some very good points. I agree with Vivek on the, hey, I don't know all about it, so you can want to surround me with other smart people. I'm willing to learn more about it. Nikki's accurate where I think she's spot on saying it is dangerous. We've seen these TikTok challenges that the youths do that end up people having these tragic outcomes like that, the one chip challenge or whatever that might be. And of course, the China factor with our information. But here's the slippery slope. She says about people's personal information. There's more things out there than just TikTok that are collecting our personal information. We can't ban everything, right? So, like, where do we draw the line? What's the slippery slope here? Well, if TikTok goes, then what else goes? We're never going to see that ban happen. I would like to see it gone, but then again, we wouldn't have content for the cut sheet if we get rid of it.
Yeah. I think that the concept of banning TikTok is ridiculous.
So I guess then if you are of the anti-cancel culture group, you have to be true to that and stay consistent, right? We shouldn't get rid of it, I would think. I don't know, maybe I'm a hypocrite because I'm against cancel culture. I hate seeing people canceled or lose jobs or whatever. Is that applicable to a device like TikTok? Might have to do a big take on that.
All right, I lied. One more. Crime.
I've got like 2,000 more sheets left.
There's just there's so much to go through, and there's a lot of people listening, and I just want to make sure we cover all of the pertinent information. Of course, you should stay tuned all day because everybody will have all the great coverage today. Crime was discussed. We've discussed that a lot over the last 2 days. Ron DeSantis discussed crime and being in Southern California, seemingly taking a little pot shot at Gavin Newsom because we know they're going to debate next month, or 2 months from now.
November 30th.
Yeah. This is debate 6, Daniel.
Fired a couple of prosecutors in your state, but as president, you would not have the ability to do that. How do you think about dealing with the root causes of crime, especially this revolving door of the criminals that just get out and come back and commit another crime?
Well, the crime in these cities is one of the strongest signs of the decaying of America. We can't be successful as a country if people aren't even safe to live in places like Los Angeles and San Francisco. Just being in Southern California over the last couple of days, my wife and I have met 3 people who have been mugged on the street, and that would have never happened 10 or 20 years ago. In Florida, we back the blue. We support the men and women of law enforcement. They are keeping us safe. We have a 50-year low in the crime rate. And yes, when I had 2 progressive prosecutors that weren't following the law in Florida, I removed them from their posts, and the people of Florida are safer as a result of it. As president, I will use the Justice Department to bring civil rights cases against all of those left-wing Soros-funded prosecutors. We're not going to let them get away with it anymore. We want to reverse this country's decline. We need to choose law and order over rioting and disorder.
On a related subject,
I love the answer there from DeSantis. And to expound upon his California point, I just read. What?
I'm sorry. Daniel, I know I'm catching off the blue here, but remember I told you earlier, Nick, about that awkward smile that he has? He does it at the end of that clip.
Does he? Can we isolate it?
Daniel, I don't know if you can isolate that clip. I know I'm kind of catching off the blue, but at the very end, as soon as he finishes, he has this very awkward smile on his face that looks super creepy.
Like he's soiled himself?
Yeah, wait, hang on. There you go. YouTube.com/@1210WPHT. If you want to see this, YouTube.com/@1210. Watch, guys. 3. He finishes what he's saying, and then he does this awkward smile.
Yep.
He does.
Yeah. It's almost like he winked with his mouth.
Oh my, Daniel, you are a genius, my friend. Look at that.
Can we keep playing it, keep playing it back, that last 2 seconds of him going, huh? How about that?
Yeah, Tom Walsh is it is a little creepy.
It is. It's like he's winking with his face.
Yeah, it's like this. It's like he's never smiled before.
I know. It's like third grade photo
he's
op.
just
awkward.
He's stopping to pose.
No, he's awkward, right?
The problem is some people can carry this off.
He's been coached up too much too.
And so,
by the way, the substance of his answer was fabulous.
Absolutely.
So I'm not mocking
the substance that in a moment.
I'm just mocking his.
You know, it would be better if he were self-deprecating and just did his point and said, and they keep telling me to stop and smile and do like a little and sort of make fun of himself. You know, that would probably work for him.
Yeah.
But it's like, ding. They should have like a little sound effect.
Shafe says it looks like Joey on Friends. How you doing?
Wow.
Yeah.
How you doing? But to the point being with his answer with California, with all the crime, I just read a story yesterday that a couple came to the United States on their honeymoon. They went to San Francisco and on the last day of their honeymoon, they were at a park and their car got burglarized and stolen, and all their goods and products and everything that they had from their wedding and their honeymoon and all their stuff was stolen. Like, this is where we're at in some of these cities where, like, you don't want to go to these cities. Like, who's going to sit there and say, oh, yeah, you guys, you want to check out some cool cities? Go to Philadelphia. You're going to have a blast.
Yep. Heaven O' One says overcoached. I agree. He's being manhandled by whoever is coaching him or advising him. He's just not. He's trying to take their advice, and he's like Sideshow Bob with the rake. It just looks forced and not normal. I don't know. Nobody smiles like that.
No.
Just like, you know what I mean?
He's a bizarre dude. He's a bizarre dude.
It's just such a bizarre.
You think he's weird in his personal life?
I don't know.
Like not creepy. Like,
I mean, listen, just that
skeletons
laugh
in the closet, but
just that laugh of the, where he cracks himself up is just, I don't know. The whole thing just seems very.
Yeah.
He's just an awkward guy.
Yeah, it's weird too because he's a military guy. He's a former athlete, yet he comes off like a total dork. He's also got like the perfect wife. Like, she's like, you look at her, she's just absolutely pretty. She's adorable. She's just like the all-American girl. And, nice
Cancer
little family.
survivor.
Cancer
survivor.
So very strong.
But then there's just the weird element. There's a lot of great things to DeSantis. Like, being the fact that you're a veteran, that resonates with Republicans. All the stuff that he does policy-wise. But then it's just like you get to the little sliver of the pie that's like kind of the it factor and the charisma and, the resonating factor, and it's just not there.
Bill L. Here we go with the looks again. Look, I'm shallow. I don't care. Yeah. I'm not putting anything on Nick and Dawn. This is all me. I was the one who picked up on this, so blame me. Yes, I'm shallow. I look for these things.
But he does look cute, and I like his haircut.
Stage presentation is a huge thing.
Yeah.
Vivek didn't have it either last night. He looks. I don't know.
And who was the guy that's criticizing you about questioning the looks?
Bill.
Yeah, Bill. Here's Greg's answer for you.
This is radio, people. Well, that's what people are saying. Like, we can't see the smile.
Here's the funny thing about all of this, and so when you are going from a state level job like DeSantis, so you're right, he's an ordinary guy who was in the military. He's not a wealthy guy. And so we like all his military service, Navy, right? The athlete. We like all these things about him, and the fact that he's not this wealthy guy, right? So now he comes into state politics, and he's the most, arguably, the most successful governor in America. Look at what he's done.
Yeah.
And guess what? He had it right about COVID, which is pretty amazing. Not just his leadership in Florida, but as well the people he hired and the people he listened to were right on, and the medical professionals he listened to. So good job, kudos,
Ladepo.
right?
Yep.
And his instincts. But then you look at Ron DeSantis now coming from the state level and going to that national stage. Yeah, you're going to have some awkward I mean, I can say this on a tiny level as a television news anchor, and you're doing great. And then you go to the network level, because I did do a CBS network show for a few years. And what they do is they cut my hair, they change my makeup. Like my friends were going, we loved your long hair. Why did they cut your? They change. They want to change, like that Pink song. They want to change everything you are. They tell you how great you are, but now we're going to change everything, and you have to do this. You have to sit this way. Blah, 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 blah. And then finally, you take everything they say, and you go, okay, you know what? I'm going to compartmentalize that and take about 20% of it, and now I'm going to be me.
He's, he is great in the job duty department. He does not have the X factor, entertainment, charisma, personality.
What you need.
What I would equate that to is he is like a great athlete in professional sports. I'll just, because the Ryder Cup's going on, USA versus Europe from now through the weekend. I would say he's like Dustin Johnson or Brooks Koepka. Unbelievably good golfers, but they are rockhead, boring, no soundbite individuals, which is why they don't have a ton of endorsements, because they don't move the needle that way.
But he wasn't like that at the state level. He would take on reporter. They just need to say to him, Governor, you've got this. Just be yourself. Be authentic.
He's also he's a lot like the opposite of Travis Kelce. Travis Kelce's a great tight end, but Travis Kelce will have a career in media or whatever he wants because he's entertaining and he's outspoken. Forget your politics for a second. That's like DeSantis. It's like, dude, you're really good at what you do, but you don't have the extras.
I think he does, though. I think he did when he was Florida governor. And I would mention the better brother, which is Jason. Excuse me. Right. Not Travis.
Jason Kelce.
Kelce.
Oh, I'm thinking, is there a DeSantis brother?
Right. No. Because you're bringing up the lesser brother from the Kansas City.
Yes.
But I'm saying, look at our guy who's the better, right, Kelce brother, who's authentic, and we love him, and we love his great big personality.
Right.
So look at him. He's just comfortable in his own skin, and he's not a wannabe.
Right.
He doesn't have to. He loves his wife. You don't have to go with a pop star. Whatever. Just be who you are.
Mike Sedano on the YouTube chat. I don't know who he's referring to. I guess me, maybe. He says, so says the face for radio and voice for drive-through. I guess that means me.
Well, we both have faces for radio.
Or maybe it's
That's
you.
for sure.
It's certainly not Dawn.
No.
But whoever it is.
Right. Dawn doesn't work at drive-thrus.
Thank you for listening every day, Mike.
Yes.
But it's early on. Let's just remember, I think a lot of people, even though we're living this, and all of us collectively, whether you're watching, listening, or here at Odyssey World Headquarters, we are listening and paying attention. I will still tell you that DeSantis could catch his stride. It's possible.
True.
Because it's still really early.
It is.
Ron has always been a loser.
I want to end the cut sheet that's been going on since Monday. I want to end the cut sheet with an exclusive sneak peek of how the intro to last night's GOP started. Cut 8, Daniel. This is an exclusive sneak peek. So before the debate happened, this is how it was introduced last night. Cut 8.
Ron DeSantis, Lockdown University.
Vivek Ramaswamy, World Economic Forum Business School.
Nikki Haley, Bush War Crime Institute.
Tim Scott, Kissless Virgin Meal. Chris Christie, Golden Corral State.
Mike Pence, Mother's Closet.
Doug Burgum, why am I here?
Yes.
There we go.
Somebody made that on the internet, and they used the NFL on CBS theme, like they show you and they give the starting lineups of players. Jalen Hurts, quarterback, Alabama. Doug Burgum, why am I here?
There you go.
Ron DeSantis, lockdown you.
All right, we have to break. Way
Yeah,
over.
we do. All right, we'll come back, get to Dawn. Are we doing a big three, or are we just going to wait till 9 o'clock?
No, I think we're just waiting till 9
All
o'clock.
right, we've got some other stuff to get to, including some more figures about the shoplifting epidemic in this country. Kayal and Company, back after this.
Thursday night football tonight. Yeah, baby. I love this time of year. I love this time of year. And you can cash in on it because all customers can get a no-sweat same-game parlay for Thursday night football tonight. It's Lions and the Packers, all from FanDuel Sportsbook in partnership with Valley Forge Casino. All you have to do is place a 3-leg same-game parlay on this week's game between the Lions and the Packers, and you'll get bonus bets back if you don't win. NFL same-game parlays are the perfect way to combine your bets for a chance at an even bigger payday. You can build your own, or if you don't know anything, you can just choose from one of the popular same-game parlays pre-built for you in FanDuel's top-rated sportsbook app. You can even see how many people have bet on that same-game parlay. So, hey, look, you can take your odds with that, right? Visit FanDuel.com/Greg so you don't miss out on your chance to get a no-sweat same-game parlay on America's #1 sportsbook. It's in partnership with Valley Forge Casino, and we are the official partner of 1210 WPHT. FanDuel, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. 21 and over, present in PA. Refund issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire 7 days after receipt. Max refund $5 unless otherwise specified. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
The future of joint pain relief is right here in the Philadelphia region. QC Kinetics, advanced regenerative medicine. Hey, Dawn Stensland here. If you've been told that more steroids or surgery are your only options, not so fast. Get a second opinion. Learn more about how you can harness your body's own healing agents to attack that joint pain. QC Kinetics does not mask the pain. These treatments go to the very core of the problem, using concentrated healing properties placed directly into your joint, which repairs and restores that damaged tissue. Imagine living life, especially this fall, with no more pain in your knees, your aching shoulder, your back, your hips. No drugs, no surgery, no downtime. Just call the local medical professionals, get a free consultation. QC Kinetics, the nation's leader in regenerative medicine. 215-999-3000. Just call QC Kinetics, 215-999-3000. Tell them Dawn sent you.
My name is Janice Shikonik, and I'm from Collegeville, Pennsylvania. When I first started working, I had just turned 17 years old. And of course, when you're 17, you don't think much about your future. But then when you get closer to retirement, you have to really be careful because there's a lot of scam systems out there and people that aren't going to think twice about taking your money. And if the stock market goes down, they're like, oh, well, sorry, everybody has to take a risk. And that's why crash proof is so important. You're not taking a risk. You're putting your money in there and you're guaranteed that your money's going to be there when you need it. And it just keeps compounding year after year after year. All the vacations you wanted to take, but you didn't have enough vacation time, I can do all of that now. And I really look forward to doing whatever I want. And that's the beauty of retirement. And I'm rocking it. I like it.
Reserve your seat to see America's Retirement Dilemma, a documentary of Wall Street's rigged system at Springfield Country Club, October 24th. Registration is required. 800-722-9728 or crashproofretirement.com.
Hi, this is Dom Giordano. September is Cholesterol Education Month, and it's time to take charge. So how is your cholesterol? For over 38 years, Rescue Natural Supplements has been a trusted partner in cholesterol support. I've relied on Rescue Supplements for years. With Rescue, you'll find specific supplements tailored to your needs. Favorites like omega-3s, red yeast rice, and more. Right now, all you have to do is just use the code DROP, D-R-O-P, to double up your order on any cholesterol product for free. Call today at 800-26-ALIVE, 800-262-5483. Speak to a knowledgeable product consultant or use the code online when you visit res-q.com, res-q.com. Again, use the code DROP, D-R-O-P, buy one, get a matching Rescue cholesterol product for free. I've personally seen the firsthand benefits of Rescue supplements. They are incredible. Remember, use the code DROP, D-R-O-P, to double up your cholesterol support order for free today.
Hey, neighbor, what you doing?
Just getting the groundwork done to put up my new fence.
Oh, cool. Did you contact Pennsylvania One call system to check the underground utilities first?
Nah, there's nothing but dirt back here. Oh, no.
Whoa, I think that's a water main. Yeah, well, you said you always wanted a pool. All joking aside, you should call Pennsylvania One call.
You're right. I'm going to call Pennsylvania One call. But first, cannonball!
Know what's below. Contact 811 before you dig or visit pa1call.org to submit a locate request to have underground utilities marked.
At Cherry Hill Volvo, we are partnering again with our Costco members. Purchase a certified 2020, 21, or 22 XC40, XC60, or XC90 and receive an incredible additional discount up to $1,500 off. A discount added to the unbelievably already aggressive pricing at Cherry Hill Volvo. Join us for this special offer. Cherry Hill Volvo and Costco and you, perfect together.
Follow Talk Radio 1210 on Instagram and Facebook at 1210 WPHT.
All right, 8:52. Welcome back in. It is Kayal and Company. Live here on a Thursday morning. Nick, Dawn, and Greg. Talk Radio 1210 WPHD. Free Odyssey app. Also watch us live on YouTube. Coming up at 9:20 this morning, Great Morning Mystery Movie Clip Prize, where you will have a chance to win a pair of tickets to see Queen and Adam Lambert on Wednesday, October 18th. Down at the Wells Fargo Center in Philadelphia. And 1 hour from now, 9:50, it is our Disney keyword, our second to last Disney keyword for the month of September, which you take that to 1210WPHT.com and enter that keyword for your chance to win a free trip to Walt Disney World. So if you're not getting great concert tickets, you're going to the happiest, wokest place on earth. I'm kidding. But it's a free trip, so why would you not take advantage of it? What are you going to do, stay around in Philadelphia? It's cold out. There's going to be looting. There's going to be rioting. I think if push comes to shove, I'd rather be at Disney World. I really would. 855-839-1210, the number. Speaking of numbers, you know, we've talked a lot this morning about the debate. And, of course, the fallout, night number 2, looting in the city of Philadelphia, which, you know, and Dawn made a great point. Burying the lead here really is what triggered all of this, no pun intended, was what happened with Officer Mark Dial and that case being tossed out. And we are seeing the effects of these looting instances where 18 different PA wine and spirit stores in Philadelphia, they close. Then the next day, it's a game day decision, so to speak. We gave you the numbers about CVS basically closing up 900 stores over the course of a 3-year stretch. And major retail CEOs are now warning of a dire shoplifting epidemic after $112 billion in losses are causing chains to take drastic measures with the rampant stealing that has caused these retailers to either beef up security, lock up product, or turn to other drastic anti-theft measures in order to stop the thieves. Some of the numbers here are pretty alarming. This survey found that the shrink rate, which is like kind of a rate in which you are technically allowed to lose. Like if you're a manager, you know, you might have an audit. I remember when I worked at Foot Locker, my manager had like a 2% shrink rate, and anything within that percentage was, quote, acceptable and allowable because theft is going to happen, whether it's people that are customers stealing or your own employees that are stealing. The shrink rate in 2022's financial year hit 1.6%. which was up from 1.4% in 2021. So as this goes up, it's indicative of the theft that is occurring. And now we have found out that 45% of retailers say they have cut the numbers of hours that they're open to combat theft. So they're shutting down earlier, impacting their bottom line even further in fear of theft, while 30% have reduced or altered their in-store product selection. And this is hitting a lot of companies. This is not just Target or Walgreens or CVS. Dick's Sporting Goods is being impacted big time. They have had to actually get to the point where they have lost 25% of their stock. Their stock price is down 25%. And if you've ever gone into a Dick's Sporting Goods, they've got unbelievable amount of product out there. So this is, as Brian Cornell has said, the CEO of Target, our team, quote, continues to face an unacceptable amount of retail theft and organized retail crime. Shrink remains consistent with our expectations, but well above the sustainable level where we expect to operate over time. And unfortunately, safety incidents associated with theft are moving in the wrong direction. So this is, and I know we don't feel as bad for the corporations as we do the mom and pop shops, but, you know, a local cheesesteak shop, you know, we mentioned this 2 weeks ago, added up, Pennsylvania trained by the state police security guards. You think a guy that owns, and I don't know if I think it's an ownership group, but let's say it's an ownership group of 3 people. You think they want to spend $100,000 a year on security so that you can stay protected while you get a cheesesteak? Think about the lunacy of that. I need to make sure that people are safe as they order a $9 sandwich. That's where we're at today because of a lot of what has transpired in the last 3.5 years. And you see it here in Philadelphia. And I forget who said it, but one of the elected officials somewhere across the country, basically, and I'm paraphrasing here, said, yeah, let them steal, let them loot, let them riot or whatever. Eventually they'll wear themselves out and move on to something else and be outraged about something else. Just let them get it out of their system, which is why it was so great to see the way our officers responded 2 nights ago. But I don't think you can jump to the conclusion that this is the turning point. As Judge Janine tried to make the case that maybe this is where the pendulum swings back. No, they were just doing their basic job. But we all, I mean, Dawn, you've got boys. I mean, I got to imagine you've gone to Dick's Sporting Goods for equipment or apparel or, you know, gear. So,
well, the funny thing is, I remember this started about a year ago when we really noticed it.
Mm-hmm.
We went and they said, oh, we want to try different shoes. And they said, oh, well, which ones? And I said, well, can he try them on?
Yeah.
And they said, well, we don't really do that. You
anymore.
And I was like, what?
I know.
And the person, the individual working there just kind of looked at me because they have such theft.
Yep.
And I said, he's growing a mile a minute.
Right.
I don't know if at that point he was like a 12 and a half. Now he's like a 13 and a half.
Yeah.
And so I said, we need to try him on.
Yep.
And so they were like, let me get the manager.
Yeah.
And this is the one in Plymouth Meeting.
Right.
This is not in the city of Philadelphia even.
Yep.
So then they said, oh, okay. And then, but I had to basically lobby to,
yeah.
I said, look, we need new cleats.
Right.
And they're looking at me like I'm a crazy person.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, I said, what in the world? What's going on here?
Well, there was times, you know, whether it's at Target, I know they're locking stuff up, where you'd go into one of these places or a CVS or a Walgreens and they would lock up the Sudafed because they don't want people to use that to make other drugs, or the cigarettes were behind the register. But when the body wash and the deodorants are locked up, you're like, wow, we've reached a new low in civilization. So,
yeah. But you basically have to, you're basically convincing them that you're not there to steal the product.
Correct. Now, let me just tell you why I really do want to purchase this legally. Not a joke. Not a joke.
It's weird.
It is. 855-839-1210 is how you climb in. And when we come back, almost half of U.S. adults plan to get the new COVID vaccine booster. But to me, it's a misleading headline. And I also question the actual numbers as well. We'll get into that. And also some interesting stuff in the world of sports with society and social justice issues from the Washington Commanders, the Kansas City Chiefs, and Colin Kaepernick back in the news. Right now, some news from Dawn Stensland on QC Kinetics.
Yeah, because the future of joint pain relief is right here in Philadelphia, throughout the suburbs, throughout the region. QC Kinetics is the answer. Advanced regenerative medicine. And this is breakthrough stuff, and it's amazing. If you've been told, oh, you need more steroids, or you need surgery, and you think that's your only option, it's not. Get a second opinion. Please do this. Please call and learn more about how you can harness your body's own healing agents to attack and heal that joint pain. Okay, this is, as I say, this is not to mask the pain. That's not what this is all about. I'm talking about lasting relief. QC Kinetics, these treatments go to the very root of the issue here and the problem, using concentrated healing properties from your own body, which lie with, you have the answer, it's within you, okay? And they take them, the medical professionals at QC Kinetics, and it's all under one roof. And I've seen this in action at the KOP, King of Prussia Center, with these medical professionals. It's amazing. And they place them directly into your joint, your aching joint, which restore and actually repair that damaged tissue. So imagine that, and living your life this fall. No more pain in your knees, your aching shoulder, your hips, or your back. No drugs, no downtime, no surgery. And life is about moving. So get moving again. But first, get moving on your call to QC Kinetics and get that free consultation, local medical professionals, and they're going to talk to you today and explain the process. QC Kinetics, the nation's leader in regenerative medicine, 215-999-3000, 215-999-3000. Please, will you just do this? Promise me you'll do this before lunch today. 215-999-3000, QC Kinetics. Tell them Dawn sent you.
You got the alert this morning. Now get the whole story. Count on NBC 10 News today.
It's more than just headlines. It's news to get you ready for your day.
If you need motivation, here we go. We've got your playbook.
The most accurate hour-by-hour weather forecasts.
Traffic info to get you there and back easier. It's all you need to get up, get ahead, and stay ahead.
Make your mornings count with NBC 10 News today. Count on
WPHT, WPHT HD, WOGL HD3 Philadelphia. From the Cherry Hill Volvo Studios, where relationships matter. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
It's that time of year again to consider replacing your old drafty windows and doors before another long, cold winter season rolls in. And the great people at Guided Door and Window will help make your window and door replacement project more affordable with their buy one, get one half off sale. For every door or window you buy, you'll get a second one at 50% off. And you can mix and match the savings to suit your own needs. Buy an entry door, get half off a storm door. Buy a patio door, get 50% off a window. Need to replace all the windows and doors in your house? Well, you save 50% on half your project. The more you need, the more you save. Plus, Guida is making it easier for you to afford your project with no money down and interest-free financing for up to 18 months. Act now. Offers for a limited time only. Restrictions apply. For full details, call Guida today to schedule a free, no obligation in-home estimate at 1-877-GO-GUIDA or visit them at GoGuida.com. That's go, GUIDA.com.
Turnersville Jeep is having a September Jeep blowout. 2023 Jeeps are 10% off. That's 10% off Wrangler 4xEs, Gladiators, Cherokees, and Compasses this month. Choose from a massive inventory of over 250 Jeeps, and TurnersvilleJeep.com wants to pay you above market value for your vehicle today. TurnersvilleJeep.com on Route 42 in Turnersville. Drive a little, save a lot at TurnersvilleJeep.com.
Hi, this is Joe Mederchuk, PNC Bank Regional President. When it comes to playing the game, every team has their why. Maybe it's for their legacy, the rush of a win, a championship ring. We at PNC Private Bank want to understand your why, your purpose. Once we understand it, we'll map out a personalized path forward to help reach your goals. Tell us, what's your why? PNC Private Bank is a service mark of the PNC Financial Services Group, Inc. PNC Bank, National Association, member FDIC.
Do you have heart failure and often hear,
"Those stomach issues ruined your birthday"?
"You're too tired to play catch, Grandpa."
Sweetie, you haven't touched your tools since the carpal tunnel syndrome diagnosis.
If these seemingly unrelated symptoms sound familiar, talk to your cardiologist. Ask about transthyretin amyloid cardiomyopathy, or ATTR-CM, a rare and underdiagnosed disease that gets worse over time. Learn more at connecttoyourheart.com. That's connecttoyourheart.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
From local town councils to Capitol Hill, agents who are realtors are standing up for what's right. We're here protecting property rights. Here advocating for the issues that affect our neighborhoods. Here championing fair and equitable housing for all. Because we are realtors, bound by a code of ethics, driven to serve our communities. We're here for it all. Here for you. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors. That's who we are.
You're out of breath. Have a constant dry cough that won't go away. It could be interstitial lung disease. ILD is rare, but it's serious. It can be the fight of your life. and you can't face the fight of your life if you don't know you're in it. Ask your doctor. Find a pulmonologist. Get answers. There's hope. There's help, but don't wait. Go to lungsandU.com/fight-ILD.
Tom Giordano at noon. Kayal and Company now on Talk Radio 1210, WPHT, and the free Odyssey app.
Welcome back in for the final hour. It's Kayal and Company on this Thursday morning, September 28th. Good to have you aboard. Nick, Dawn, and Greg, Talk Radio 1210 WPHT. Also on the free Odyssey app, live on YouTube. Dawn's Big 3 at 9:15. 9:20 is the morning mystery movie clip. Tickets to see Queen and Adam Lambert in October at the Wells Fargo Center. Part 2 of the cut sheet. Disney keyword. What else would you want in the 9 o'clock hour? Could it get any better than this?
This might be the best hour. It might be the best hour.
I mean, we are 5 days away from the 1-year anniversary.
Wow.
And we're just giving it away today.
We are.
Giving it away. All right. So last night, obviously, the big story was the second GOP debate. And we heard a lot of it on the cut sheet and all sorts of different conversations that were had with, immigration, crime, the economy, energy, you name it. But, going into it, I was not feeling it. And we now realize that Fox also knew that they couldn't sell it to their advertisers for the same typical rate that they normally would. Going back last month, the rate was $495,000 for a 30-second spot, which is really a commercial. Spot's kind of inside baseball. But it's now $200,000. And, of course, we know Donald Trump was in Michigan for the UAW strike. And, of course, you have a lot of people that are jockeying for position in the 2 spot, the 3 spot, who could be the VP, who's going to get in the cabinet. But I just felt like going into it that it was very JV. If Trump's the varsity and the varsity plays on Friday night in front of 5,000 people at a high school stadium, this was like the JV game on Monday night where there's 333 people sitting in the stands and the sun's still up. It's not under the lights or anything like that. And I thought there were a few interesting scuffles between whether it's, Ramaswamy and Christie or Ramaswamy and Haley, DeSantis playing referee. But a lot of people are saying the big winner last night was Donald J. Trump.
Yeah.
And I just think we are at the point now where if you thought, and look, there's still going to be people out there. I'm still getting tweets here and there that, it's early. I get it. Some of you out there don't consume it as much as we do. So this still feels early to you. But eventually you'll start to hear the phrase, it's getting late a little bit early. Like sooner or later, somebody has to break through or it is what it is. And I think it is what it is. I don't think Ron DeSantis is going to have the light bulb go on all of a sudden. I think Vivek has peaked. I think Nikki is still kind of ascending. I think Nikki's in a really good spot. Mm-hmm. But with Trump not being there and for good reason not needing to be there, then you throw out the channel it was on. I know it was on Fox News, but they presented it in such an odd way. It would be like us saying, coming up at 3 o'clock today, you're going to hear Rich Zeoli, and the simulcast will be on Talk Radio 1210. Like, no, wait, it's going to be on Talk Radio 1210.
Yeah.
You should say it's on Fox News and simulcasted on Fox Business. So the way they marketed it was odd. And then, of course, you had the moderators. Varney is just, that's the best you got. Did Brian Kilmeade turn it down? He never turns anything down.
Poor Brian. Let's play debate 1 again. When he started off with the the way he started off, he stumbled right out of the gate.
Yeah.
Debate 1, Daniel.
I'm Stuart Varney of Fox Business, and I am thrilled to be sitting alongside my co-moderators, Fox News Channel Dana Perino and Ilya Calderon, Univision.
Good evening. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you.
Anyway.
It doesn't matter what we call them.
Look, we all.
Of course.
You two talk all day long.
Out of the gate.
Yeah, but right
It's
out
rough.
of the gate, it's not a good way to.
It was shades of DeSantis doing the Twitter Spaces launch. Right out of the gate, it was a kerfuffle. It was a disaster.
Plus that, just in the production of it, and I talk about the Fox News production is the best.
As good as it gets.
In the world. And so why not just say their names in the intro? In other words, I don't need you to go, hello, I'm Steve Wilson, I'm thrilled. Blah, blah, blah. Just get right to it.
And it was like, and the three of them all, like the first question, it was Dana, and then Stuart, and then that woman. Like they all kind of had.
It's awkward. It's slow.
Yeah, it was
Get
like
right
a
into it.
sing-along. It was like, now it's your part. Now it's your part.
Right.
Now it's your part.
Follow the script.
Bubba45 so far wins YouTube. He says British people saying Spanish names is a violation.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I love it.
I brought this up earlier too, but for the people who tune in later, I wanted to make sure that we brought it up because I was looking at because they did one of the very last questions, Nick, that they asked was a Survivor-like question. If you had to vote anybody off of the island, which one would it be? And to their credit, they didn't play along with it as they shouldn't have because it's really a dumb question. Although it's an interesting talk radio question. Yeah. So there's this theory that if they all but one dropped out of the race, that all of those votes would consolidate into that one candidate.
Yep.
But I'm looking at a 538 poll right now, which has Trump at 54%, DeSantis at 13.8%, Haley at 6.3%, Ramaswamy at 6.3%, Pence at 4.6%, Christie at 2.9%, Tim Scott at 2.7%, and then like Burgum's at 0.9%. So even if you take all of their numbers and combine them.
Yep.
I mean,
still short.
It's way short.
Yeah.
It's not even.
Well, Trump's up 41 on DeSantis alone.
I don't even know if it cracks 25%.
Go, rattle off those numbers again. I'll do it on the fly.
13.8.
Yep.
6.3.
That's 20.
6.3.
26.
4.6.
30.
2.9.
33.
2.7.
36.
0.9.
37.
0.6.
38.
0.4.
All right, well, I left a few, so it's probably about 40 if you add up some of the decimals and stuff in there. They're still 14 points down combined.
And by the way, you can't This is just an exercise because you can't say that all of those people would coalesce around whatever candidate they pick.
Correct.
They're still short.
Trump's probably still has them doubled up.
Exactly. This was the question that Dana Perino asked last night. Debate 10, Daniel.
Welcome back to the final minutes. I could go another hour, but we only have a few minutes. And candidates, it's now obvious that if you all stay in the race, former President Donald Trump wins the nomination. None of you have indicated that you're dropping out. So, which one of you on stage tonight should be voted off the island? Please use your marker to write your choice on the notepad in front of you. 15 seconds. Starting now, of the people on the stage, who should be? I'm absolutely serious.
With all due respect, I mean, we're here, we're happy to debate, but I think that's disrespectful to my fellow competitors.
Nobody wants to participate.
Let's do some questions. Let's talk about the future of the country. I want to be clear.
Let me ask you this.
My fellow competitors.
Let me ask you something. Then if you won't answer to that question, let me ask you this one. Yeah. What is your mathematical path?
Yes.
Governor DeSantis, in order to try to beat President Trump, who has a commanding and enduring lead in this race?
So, polls don't elect presidents.
All right,
but he did reach 20, which we keep saying the benchmark 20. Yeah. So for DeSantis, he did. Wasn't it yesterday, or did we talk about this yesterday or the day before? He did reach 20, and so I just think for DeSantis, it's a marathon. And that November 30th with Gavin Newsom, that debate that Sean Hannity's hosting, I think DeSantis has the most to lose and the most to gain.
Yeah.
DeSantis needs something to break through, and he hasn't.
Yeah. I thought Dana's question was, A, it took some guts, and B, it was pretty funny the way she delivered it. I don't know. Maybe some people will criticize her for it like DeSantis was, but I thought it was pretty good. But what about this? What if we were to do like a Survivor poll in the YouTube chat? Who would we vote off of the island here on Kayal and Company? Greg Stocker?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Myself? Dawn? Daniel? Anthony?
Me.
Who should be voted off the island?
The Democrats.
Drive?
Me.
No, not us.
Me.
Oh, here's my choice.
Anthony, you are fired.
Aw, no.
By the way, Steve wrote me yesterday. Steve wrote me yesterday, and I want to pull up the email, and we'll get to Dawn's Big Three in 1 second.
Okay.
Hang on, I have to find this real fast because he wrote in about Anthony, who's not here to defend himself.
Right.
So
I know.
I want to make
Are
sure
we
that
delivering
we're
low blows?
Yes, I think he felt like it was a low blow that we said yesterday to Anthony. He says, "Hi, Greg. This is none of my business, as I don't know him. I have noticed over the last few months that Anthony seems to be getting pushed down the totem pole. We virtually never hear him called on anymore. Daniel also gets all the praise and no longer and Anthony no longer does.
Right.
That's
Kayal-
because he's working on the show that he's actually the executive producer of, which is the Dawn Show, which starts at 10. I love Anthony. Stop.
Kayal had him ahead of Daniel when he listed the cast originally, then alternated, and now always last.
Yeah,
Then
it's-
today he gets made fun of for the Hershey thing when he wasn't there to defend himself. Not fair. I don't like hearing others call you out, meaning me, when you're not there either. I would love for people to call me out, please. I know he can speak. He can still speak well since I hear him on Dawn's show. As I said, not my business, just a critical listener's observation.
So basically,
But I love that.
he thinks
Daddy owes you.
we owe Anthony a little
No,
praise.
the truth of the matter is that he's hard at work on Dawn's show.
Yeah.
He's not he helps
Does
us out
little
here a
bit,
little bit.
Yeah.
But like he's
90% of his work is on Dawn.
His actual title is executive producer of the Dawn Show.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
So, and by the way, I mean, longtime listeners know this. We've known Anthony since he was a college
I know.
intern.
Yeah, I know.
So we probably beat up on him because he's like family, and
Yeah.
we love Anthony.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yes. We don't.
And his old man's down the hall.
By the
Yeah.
way, and
We
Rich,
know the whole family.
Rich says this all
Yeah.
the time as well. Like if we don't like you, we don't mention you.
Right.
That's we all bust on each other.
Yeah. Exactly.
Well said.
If I say something critical of somebody, it means that it's probably in jest.
Yeah. Trust me. If I don't like you, you're gonna know.
If I'm really upset at somebody, I'm not going to say it on air.
Right.
True.
So, like, you know what I mean? Like,
But the associate producer power rankings are ever evolving.
Oh no!
Oh,
You know,
geez.
Valdez,
See, you had to say that.
Lorenzo, look, it's not on what you've done in the past. It's what have you done for this show lately.
YouTube is going to have.
He's
Daniel
stirring
put
the
this
pot.
up. Who's voted off? Greg, Dawn, Anthony, Nick.
Here's the answer.
Wait, he didn't put himself on there.
Who?
Daniel didn't put himself. It's Greg, Dawn, Anthony, and Nick.
Is
Oh,
for
look
the
at
option?
that.
Is for the maximum?
Wow, there's 19 votes already. I'm at 37%. Yay!
I mean, look, we got to have all five of us because
40% now.
as Meatball would say, everybody's got to eat.
Hey, let me just say this, and somebody should have said it yesterday, and this is the problem with competitive individuals and Republicans, is that the answer last night and the answer for us here this morning, you know who gets voted off? Joe Biden and the losing progressives and the losing Democrats.
Yeah. Bubba
That's
45.
the answer. The Democrats get voted off.
Bubba
And not even
45
Democrats, progressives.
Says you're getting voted off, Greg. Yes, of course I do.
No,
I
he
love it.
doesn't.
When in doubt,
No,
man,
no.
let's go.
I'm
We're not
leaving.
voting off Greg.
I'm leaving.
No, he's not leaving.
I don't want to wake up at 4 a.m.
Come
Who
back.
cares?
You're
Nobody
waking
cares.
up. We need you. I need
Stop
you.
it. I know. Just stop it. All right.
I need you, baby. Don't leave me. Don't leave me.
Greg's reaction to
Greg in a landslide.
Stop.
Greg's reaction to the Delaware Valley wanting him gone.
Cool, man. Awesome. Great.
You picked a fine time to leave me. Greg Stucker.
Anthony at 23%. Nick at 20%.
Hey, well, you know.
Dawn only at 13.
This is not the answer.
Yeah.
We have to see. And that's
Larry
the thing with
Krasner must
Republicans.
go.
Yes.
Look, if we're gonna take part in the Survivor game,
Yeah,
you know, look. I don't have thin skin. I absolutely love this.
that's great.
No, we need to, this seriously, and this is a problem with last night, that nobody looked around and had that answer in their heads. And this is where the Democrats all come together. And so we need, who will unify the pro-liberty party, the pro-constitution, the pro-free speech, the pro-parental rights? Who will be the one to unify? That's a problem that you're pointing out, actually, with last night. Because to me, when they asked that question, think about it, they immediately went to the shiv in the back.
Yeah.
No. The answer is we all win. We are the conservatives. We are the pro-liberty, pro-freedom, pro-free speech, pro-business. We are that party. We are the survivors of this island, and we are kicking off and giving the boot to the progressives who want to minimize your constitutional rights. That has to be the answer. And so for us here at Kayal and Company, we are the winners. We are going to stay on this island, and we're booting off those who are anti-free speech.
Dawn, you got me ready to run through a wall right now. I am fired up. That
Woo!
was like a locker room speech at halftime.
Yes.
QJ writes, get a couple more sound bites of Greg screaming things before you send him packing.
Yeah.
Stop it! Just stop it!
All right, we'll get to Dawn's big three, but it's 9:20.
By the way, nobody on the show is going anywhere.
That's right.
It's uberly successful.
Why would you touch something that's not broken?
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
Hoorah!
Hoorah! 9:20. Time for the morning mystery movie clip.
And now, the morning mystery movie clip on Kayal and Company. Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
Thought no further than the strange custom of having your children wear masks and go out begging for candy. It was the start of the year in our old Celtic lands, and we'd be waiting in our houses of wattles and clay. The barriers would be down, you see, between the real and the unreal, and the dead might be looking in to sit by our fires of turf. Halloween, the festival of Samhain. The last great one took place 3,000 years ago, and the hills ran red with the blood of animals and children.
Think you know what it is? Be call at 12 at 855-839-1210, and you could win this great prize.
How about this? A pair of tickets to see Queen and Adam Lambert Wednesday, October 18th, 2023 at the Wells Fargo Center in Philadelphia. If you can be caller number 12 with the correct answer, 855-839-1210. Pair of tickets, Queen and Adam Lambert, down at the Wells Fargo Center. Kayal and Company. We'll see if we get our winner and Dawn's Big Three coming up next.
Pastor Brad Lacey here, First Baptist Church, Conshohocken. Join us Saturdays for the great message and be blessed. 5 a.m. right here on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
This is an important notice to consumers facing $10,000 or more in credit card debt, medical bills, or other unsecured debt. You may not be required to pay it all back because there are special programs now in effect that will significantly reduce the amount you will owe if you qualify. This is not bankruptcy or a debt consolidation loan. These programs, which the credit card companies like to keep secret, exist to aid American consumers struggling with overwhelming credit card debt by offering tremendous savings and real debt relief. Accredited Debt Relief has established a special hotline for you to call and learn what savings you qualify for. They've helped qualify consumers with over $1 billion in debt and are A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau. So don't wait. Get the relief you need during these hard economic times. For this free information, call the Accredited Debt Relief Hotline now. Call 800-873-7171. 800-873-7171. 800-873-7171.
With food prices going up, it's hard to decide on what to buy and where to buy. If you're looking for a way to stretch your food dollars, look no further than your neighborhood grocery outlet. We have the name brands you love for 40 to 70% less than regular grocery stores. Our stores are locally owned and operated by people in your community, so we understand the challenges you are facing. Stop by your local grocery outlet today for deals you won't believe.
Grocery Outlet Bargain Market.
Hey, neighbor, what you up to?
Just getting the groundwork done to put in my new patio.
Oh, cool. Did you contact Pennsylvania One Call System to check for underground utilities first?
Nah, there's nothing but dirt back here.
Whoa, hey, man, are you okay?
Hey, did you guys lose power too? Love that new hair color, Bill.
Yeah, your hair's totally white now.
Maybe I should contact Pennsylvania One Call.
Well, that's the smartest thing you've said all day.
Know what's below. Contact 811 before you dig, or visit pa1call.org to submit a locate request to have underground utilities marked.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ziprecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So, while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate through the site within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free. Just go to this exclusive web address, ziprecruiter.com/free. That's ziprecruiter.com/free.
ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Hey, it's Rich Zioli. When it comes to all your home improvement needs, trust is everything. And that's why for years, I've been talking about the amazing work my friends Stephanie and Matt and the entire team at Emmons has done for me and my home. My roof, doors, windows, siding, and yes, remodeling projects. Emmons can bring that same quality of work to all of your kitchen and bathroom remodeling needs. Roofing, siding, windows, doors, and now baths and kitchens. Emmons is the Delaware Valley's one-stop shop for all of your home improvement needs. Call 856-556-3229 and get a free estimate, or go online to emmonsroofing.com, or even better, come visit the Emmons Design Showroom in Cherry Hill. emmonsroofing.com. It's about trust, it's about quality, it's about great work, and that's why me and my family have used them for basically every project we've done to improve our home. emmonsroofing.com.
When you need to know, depend on KYW News Radio 103.9 FM.
More than 50 people have now been arrested from the looting throughout Philly Tuesday night. The second Republican presidential debate took place in California without Donald Trump, and House Speaker Kevin McCarthy says the Senate's proposal to fund the government is unlikely to advance in the House.
Get the latest anytime on KYW News Radio, now on Crystal Clear 103.9 FM.
You've never needed us more. This is Jonathan Cans, third-generation owner of Marvin E. Cans Heating and Air Conditioning. Are you waking up soaking wet? Don't worry, you didn't wet the bed. It's sweat, which means your air conditioning probably needs service or needs to be replaced. Summer is still here for a few more months. If you want a company who's been servicing some of the same customers for 3 generations, with honest pricing, no gimmicks, and factory-trained technicians, then Marvin E. Cans Heating and Air Conditioning is for you. Visit us at marvinecans.com. That's marvinekанze.com.
Jesse Kelly here. Do you feel protected? My personal protection plan is owning gold. The Oxford Gold Group helps you buy gold to have on hand or convert it into your 401k. If things get weird, I have gold on hand. I like that. You can buy coins or convert part of your 401k with the Oxford Gold Group. It's easy and safe. 833-995-GOLD. That's 833-995-GOLD. 833-995-GOLD.
Attorney Joe Cordell. Divorce forces a father to focus on what's most important, his children. In the divorce process, this comes down to 3 key concerns: physical custody, decision-making, as well as financial support. Each of these is important, and it's important that you choose a lawyer that cares as much about these issues as you do.
Offices in Philadelphia, Radnor, and Allentown, Pennsylvania, and Mount Laurel, New Jersey. Joseph Cordell, licensed in Missouri and Illinois only. Michelle Ferrari, licensed in New Jersey and Pennsylvania. Online at CordellCordell.com.
Hey, it's Rich Zioli. Do you really want to take shots the rest of your life just to lose weight? NJ Diet's typical results are twice as fast as weight loss injections without any of the side effects. Plus, you learn proper portion control. You develop healthy eating habits that last you the rest of your life. By the end of NJ Diet's 40-day program, you will lose 20 to 40 plus pounds, contractually guaranteed. You will lose the weight. You will keep off the weight the natural way. NJ Diet uses your hair, saliva, and blood work along with scans to personalize natural solutions and supplements. That's going to get your body into the fat-burning zone. Then, NJ Diet uses your DNA info to help keep the weight off. Locations throughout the East Coast are available with live online video consultations. Don't take shots the rest of your life. Lose weight quickly the natural way with NJ Diet. 855-5NJ-DIET, 855-5NJ-DIET, or schedule your consult at njdiet.com. njdiet.com, lose the weight for good.
You know, the last time WPHT travelers visited Italy, it was northern Italy. Now, come escape with me to southern Italy on an amazing gastronomical tour of the most beautiful coastline in the entire world, the Amalfi Coast. Yeah, join me for 12 magical days in luxury with the professionals, once again from Conservative Tours, and nobody does it better. I'm putting my name here on the line, and I'm saying this is a bucket list for me to go to southern Italy. And my husband, yes, I am a mom of boys. They're coming too, because I could never live it down if I left them behind. And by the way, this is with the best tour operator in all of Italy, my friends at Conservative Tours, A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau. Okay, so here goes. We take the high-speed jet foiled to the Isle of Capri. It's so beautiful, breathtaking, and $52.67. That includes your airfare. This is amazing. Luxury hotels, dining events galore. We're going to talk about this for years to come and make these memories, which you're going to remember for years and years from now. Toll free, 888-733-9494. Go to conservativetours.com, the Abbey of Monte Cassino. And let's remember Sorrento, Pompeii. And of course, we're going to see the great sights in Rome before we finally head home. What an amazing voyage. Let's take this journey together. Next spring in Italy, how does that sound? I'll see you on the Isle of Capri. Call now, 888-733-9494, conservativetours.com, conservativetours.com, and you'll see the entire itinerary. You'll see my picture with all of the details. Do this, conservativetours.com. Tell them Dawn sent you.
Hey, Southampton. We know your favorite station is Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
Kayal and Company, 931, as we roll on live Thursday morning. Talk Radio 1210 WPHT. Cut Sheet Part 2 coming up shortly. Dawn's Big 3 at 9 as well. But right now, time to give it away. A pair of tickets for October 18th at the Wells Fargo Center for Queen and Adam Lambert, as we welcome in our winner, Kevin from Southampton, who I believe has identified the clip correctly this morning. Kevin, what movie did we just play for you, sir?
Good morning. It's Kevin Pulse here.
All right,
Halloween
Kevin.
3, Season of the Witch, and I rocked my Zioli Army shirt at Washington D.C. yesterday.
Nice.
Cool.
What were you doing down in
I
D.C.?
let a tweet out. Check it out. It's awesome.
What were you doing in D.C. yesterday?
Family visiting from Germany. My aunt, uncle, and brothers, their cousins. So we all walked. We tried to get the Lesser Fitzpatrick to give us a tour, but timing didn't work out. So, but yeah, we walked around Capitals, but I took pics, so I left it in the YouTube chat, the little tweet of my pictures of me rocking the shirt,
All
the
right.
merch.
Well, congratulations,
So-
and thank you very much, Kevin. We appreciate it,
Thank
buddy.
you. You're
got it.
welcome, guys.
There he is.
Love you guys. Bye.
All right.
Love you, Kevin.
Kevin, he's going to see Adam
Love you
Lambert
guys.
and Queen. I can't drop him. My screen is frozen. My board's frozen over here.
Yeah.
All right. Nice work out of Kevin. October 18th, Wells Fargo Center. But you know what? You still have a chance to win something else this morning.
What's that?
Coming up at 9:50. Disney keyword.
What?
We will give you that keyword. You take it to 1210WPHT.com and enter that for your chance to win a free trip to Walt Disney World. So 17 minutes out from that. But right now, let's get to a Big 3 at 9 with Dawn Stenzel.
It's the Big 3 at 9 on Kayal and Company.
So much breaking this morning. We're sponsored by United Tire. Big 3, number 1, looting and lawlessness continue into the early morning here in Philadelphia. Police beefing up patrols, making dozens of arrests with smashed glass, destruction, and yes, stores closed. So we also have Philadelphia social media influencer Meatball, as she's called, charged with 6 felonies after what the Inquirer labels as a digital cat and mouse game with police during looting. So that making big headlines.
Speaking of footage, I believe if you're on YouTube that we actually do have the video footage of what we just mentioned.
We do, yeah. If you want to put that up there, Daniel, of the looting that happened in these liquor stores
In the
last night.
Northeast,
Yeah.
this is what Steve Keeley,
Yep.
I think, tweeted out.
Yep.
And there were, Steve he has a couple of them. So Keeley just, going from point A to point B. But police confirming this morning, it's not just because I don't get my news from Twitter. So even though I know and trust Steve Keeley, and I've worked with him, he's, worked with him for many years at Fox 29. But the police are confirming this morning these vandals striking Center City, West and Philadelphia, Northeast Philadelphia stores. And this morning, a beauty supply store, for example, within just the past few hours, a warehouse dock along State Road there, as well as a fine wine and good spirits store. So all of these areas being struck by vandals, which Philadelphia police are confirming. They have more arrests. It looks like 52 and counting arrests. And all liquor stores in Philadelphia as you know, were shut down yesterday after many locations had been looted. And so here's what's happening. I can't find confirmation this morning as to whether these state stores, as we call them, will be reopened. So we know that a total of 49 retail wine and liquor stores, 48 of them in Philadelphia, were shut down yesterday. There was an interview last night and then again this morning on CNN that they're alluding to the fact that workers are shaken up, plus they have to clean up the mess.
Oh, yeah.
So many of your, if you, let's say you have some football or tailgating or events this coming up weekend, your local state store might be, not that we, we only have coffee.
Germantown Academy
in our cup.
Might or might not have something going on tomorrow night.
I just love the fact that, because most of them are called either PA Wine and Spirits or Fine Wine and Good Spirits. I love the fact that Dawn called them a state store, which is the old phrase that people used to use.
Yeah.
My old man would be like, hey, I'll be back in a half hour. I'm making a run to the state store. I used to love that.
Did he go across the
Yes, he did.
across state lines?
Yes, he did. Across the Jersey.
Norton's Cork and Bottle?
Wow.
Look
that
at
is
me.
Whoa.
Look at me.
Reference.
Yeah.
Or Delaware. Not that we do that.
Yes.
But you may have to go to Jersey or Delaware because in our region, 49 shut down, and plus they're a hot mess.
Yeah.
So that's going on. Unfortunately, we're making national news out of this one. Next hour I'll be talking about this one. It's on the cover of the Philadelphia Inquirer, which again is twisting and turning, and not that they would ever have bias by omission.
No.
But the title in the Inquirer really is like the bus driver. It just makes me angry because they're saying how a Moms for Liberty aligned attack on library content is upending politics in the Philly burbs. That's not that's not what they should have. This is about somebody who basically doxed moms across the suburbs and released their personal information. These are moms and private citizens. And so, the chief, a police chief sent in Montgomery County, and the DA sent a letter to somebody who was releasing private whereabouts and information and workplaces of private citizens, by the way, who are moms.
Yep.
And so the police said, you're putting these women in danger as well as their kids. Don't do that.
Yep.
And now the Inquirer flips it on its head, which is terrible and wrong.
Yeah, if you dox anybody, I think you should have the book thrown at you. Whatever the crime specifically is in the codes, to the fullest extent of the law, those people should be prosecuted. There's no right for anybody to do that and endanger somebody else.
And just posting a huge post, which the police in the Montgomery County and the DA agrees that when you put out a spreadsheet and you say, Sue and her, 3 kids and husband, this is where they live, this is their home address. By the way, this is where she works and this is her work address. What do you think you're encouraging? Right?
Yeah.
And that's what's happening here. Shame on you, Philadelphia Inquirer, for making it sound like something other than it is. It's not about the library. It's about, and it's bad enough to do this to law enforcement.
Yep.
But when you do it to unarmed regular citizens, wow.
Yeah. And nobody should have this done to them.
No.
From a mom in the suburbs to or even our little favorite meatball, the tub in the schlub. Nobody should put out her personal information where she lives.
And of course, now the ACLU of Pennsylvania is putting their 2 cents in and saying that they're calling and there are no charges being filed. This was law enforcement in Montgomery County at the local level, as well as the DA, just put out a word of warning to say, you're intimidating people. Please don't release online their information and make it public. That's all this was. But now the ACLU ramping this up in Pennsylvania and calling this illegal intimidation. Not the doxing, but rather the mom accused of releasing this information and making it public.
It's amazing the way they spin it and twist it,
Wow. And now they're just throwing an incendiary device on all of this instead of just saying, hey, let's cool off the situation.
Right.
So that one going on. All right. We're sponsored by United Tire. We love our Philadelphia sports teams just as much as they love us, cheering them on. So same goes for the great team over at United Tire. The owners making customer satisfaction their top priority, working with you to get you back on the road faster. So when it comes to car service, trust United Tire. Thank you, United Tire, for sponsoring our Big Three.
Yes, we do love our sports team.
ELGS.
All right, Greg Stocker, 940. Let's get to what's on the cut sheet.
Again, I'm sorry, dude.
The cut sheet.
I do.
Stocker's got an itchy trigger finger.
I do. It was my mistake. I apologize.
Uh-huh.
What's on the cut sheet part 2 is sponsored by Millville Army Airfield Museum. Help honor World War II aviation heritage at Millville Army Airfield in New Jersey, America's first defense airport and gunnery school for P-47 Thunderbolt fighter pilots. Admission is free. Schedule a group tour online at p47millville.org. That's p47millville.org and become a member now. I got through. We've done a good job today of getting through all of the debate cuts, but there's a few that I wanted to before we hand the reins over to Dawn Stensland at 10. Vivek was talking. I mean, we've played a lot about banning TikTok and transgenderism is a mental health disorder. He said a lot of things last night. He also got attacked a lot. But he says that if you're 16 years old or below, you shouldn't be using addictive social media products.
Okay.
And I want to get both of your reactions to this. This is debate 7, Daniel, Vivek from last night.
There's two sides to this, and we have to be very honest about it. One is we do have to seal that southern border. Building the wall is not enough. They're building cartel-financed tunnels underneath that wall. Semi-trucks can drive through them. We have to use our own military to seal the Swiss cheese of a southern border. But we also have to be honest. There's a demand-side problem in this country, too, a mental health epidemic. I met family in Iowa, 2 parents, Kathy and Derek. They lost their son, Sebastian, 17 years old. He bought Percocet on Snapchat, and then he died. Why did he die? Because it was laced with fentanyl. That is closer to bioterrorism, not a drug overdose. That is poisoning. So it is our job to make sure that never happens. But it's also our job to make sure that 17-year-olds don't turn to Percocet via Snapchat. We have to bring back mental health care in this country, not with pump and pharmaceuticals, but with faith-based approaches that restore purpose and meaning in the next generation of Americans. Many of them are getting it through social media. And this isn't a Republican point or a Democrat point, but if you're 16 years old or under, you should not be using an addictive social media product, period. This is something that we can both agree on, and we can revive both the mental health of this country while stopping the fentanyl epidemic that will kill more people this year than who died on 9/11, and I refuse to be a passive bystander sitting in the White House like the hollowed out husk of a current president we have. We will step up and address this problem to stand for Americans and our children.
So I don't want to go at it from the federal versus state decisions with who can enforce what. I want to look at it from this perspective. If we are in agreement that it should be a state issue, is there a universal age that we agree on? 16 seems maybe a little too high. I don't know. Maybe once you're a teenager, 13 or 14, you've heard me say on this show many times, my daughters at 7, 8, and 9 years old were on Facebook and Instagram and TikTok and Snapchat doing dance videos and things like that. Certainly some filters in place, but I'm not crazy about that. And I've lost that battle, and I can't relitigate it at this point. But I do think there should be an age limit. I don't think 9-year-olds need to be on social media. What the pandemic did was created opportunities for us to just give our kids devices and let them lose their mind in it.
It's up to the parents. It's up to the parents. It cannot be. We cannot have a law that says that you have to be 16 years old or 15 years old or whatever the age is to use social media. There cannot be a law. It needs to be up to the parents. We need better parents to take the freaking phones from their kids.
Yeah, that's a good point.
But schools, for example, or I think educational centers can say nobody's on social media on school grounds.
Mm-hmm.
They can make those. They're allowed to make those rules.
Yeah.
One of the things a lot of parents do, which is a great idea, when your kids are young, have a parents group, because if you have solidarity and you all say we're not going to allow this, there's power in that. And then the kids are raised in that environment.
You know, I was just thinking about this as well. This goes beyond just TikTok, but like even with YouTube, and maybe I should know this answer. Is there a time limit that you can set on your phone for your kids? Like, you've got 1 hour, and if it shuts off, or it blocks you or locks you out, you're done for the day.
I can show you on parental controls, which if you're paying for it,
Her kids are 30 years old, and she's still using parental controls.
Well, that's because you have to lie about their age.
Dawn's creating burner accounts when her kids are 30s to snoop on them.
By the way, and we have to break here in a second, but Paul writes that Vivek looks like Beavis from Beavis and Butthead.
Wow, that's a good call.
And
he does have that hair.
Bill L says high hair makes you look taller. That's true. He's going for the tall look.
I might try that. Maybe I'll be 5'10" if I do that.
Yeah. All right,
hair and heels.
All right. Coming up next, the Disney keyword. It's Kayal and Company. Back after this.
For breakfast, lunch, and dinner, Hatfield Pork brings flavor to the table the whole family will enjoy and keep you moving through the day. With over 24 distinct flavors that can be ready in minutes, it's food you can feel good about serving. Explore endless meal possibilities with Hatfield's variety of marinated pork, ground sausage, ham, and bacon. Find your flavor with Hatfield. Visit simplyhatfield.com for recipes and to find a retailer near you.
Exergen thermometers are a top choice of medical professionals at highly rated hospitals across the U.S. Accuracy matters, so make Exergen the chosen thermometer for your home and family.
This is Larry Steinhess of Investor Schooling. I am so proud to announce the continuing success of our students at Investor Schooling. You already know that at Investor Schooling, we teach real estate investing and stock options. Did you also know that we teach things about tax savings, estate planning, and business coaching as well? We teach things about money I bet you never knew. At Investor Schooling, we teach from the perspective of true experience. If you want to see what our students think about Investor Schooling, please check out the over 160 5-star Google reviews. To find out more about how you can change your financial life, go to investorschooling.com or call 866-424-2829. That's 866-424-2829, and you can attend a complimentary class this Thursday at 7 p.m. Attend that class and see for yourself what Investor Schooling is all about. Go to investorschooling.com or call 866-424-2829. That's 866-424-2829. We can't wait to see you this Thursday.
There's nothing like football season. And this year, fans in Philly can listen to Penn State football free. Catch every Nittany Lions game live with Talk Radio 1210 WPHT. Free on the Odyssey app. Every touchdown, every tackle, every win. All right here. To get started, download the Odyssey app today. That's AUDACY. And search for WPHT. Available for Philadelphia listeners only.
It was the day we all feared. The stock market went down and then kept going.
2008, when the markets lost over 50% of their value. But that was over a decade ago. Today, it's not so painful. Jim Cipriotti at Retire Ready Financial Group calls that financial amnesia. When you forget the pain of losing half your savings, and more importantly, ignore the fact that it can happen again. A complimentary consultation from Retire Ready Financial Group can show you where you stand now before the next market pullback. You're much closer to retirement than you were in 2008. Don't let it happen again. Call Jim Cipriotti at 610-894-7415 for a complimentary consultation. That's 610-894-7415 or online at retirereadyfg.com. You can forget where you put your keys, your glasses, or even your car. Don't forget to protect your retirement.
Investment advisory services offered through Retire Ready Wealth Management, a registered investment advisor. Insurance and annuities offered through James V. Cipriotti, NPN number 2083768.
For over 4 decades, Kitchen Magic has been transforming ordinary kitchens into extraordinary spaces. Our dedicated team is at the core of our success, combining expertise and creativity to drive innovation and excellence. We understand that your kitchen is more than just a space. It's where memories are made and cherished for a lifetime. We'll craft a kitchen that truly becomes the heart of your home. Discover the possibilities at kitchenmagic.com today. Now offering no money down, no interest, and no payments for 12 months on your kitchen remodel.
With a lump in your throat and a pounding chest, you utter, "Will you marry me?"
With over a century of combined experience, Cozy Jewelers artisans will prepare you for the moment with a custom engagement ring. One-of-a-kind, Cozy custom-designed jewelry as unique as the two of you. Don't just pick out a ring, create an heirloom. Before you take a knee, remember the 5 C's of diamonds: cut, color, clarity, carat, and cozy. Visit COZZIJewelers.com.
We're introducing Wendy's newest addition to the morning lineup. Say hello to the Wendy's all-new English muffins. They're here and they're ready for breakfast. Choose between our tasty grilled sausage, a fresh cracked egg and gooey cheese, or that Applewood smoked bacon, fresh cracked egg and gooey cheese. All of that comes sandwiched between a warm English muffin. These English muffins are the perfect way to start the day. All you gotta do is pick one. Grab an English muffin for breakfast this morning. Choose wisely. Choose Wendy's breakfast at participating U.S. Wendy's during breakfast hours.
Hi, this is Dom Giordano. September is Cholesterol Education Month, and it's time to take charge. So how is your cholesterol? For over 38 years, Rescue Natural Supplements has been a trusted partner in cholesterol support. I've relied on Rescue supplements for years. With Rescue, you'll find specific supplements tailored to your needs. Favorites like omega-3s, red yeast rice, and more. Right now, all you have to do is just use the code DROP, D-R-O-P, to double up your order on any cholesterol product for free. Call today at 800-26-ALIVE, 800-262-5483. Speak to a knowledgeable product consultant or use the code online when you visit res-q.com, res-q.com. Again, use the code DROP, D-R-O-P, buy one, get a matching Rescue cholesterol product for free. I've personally seen the firsthand benefits of Rescue supplements. They are incredible. Remember, use the code DROP, D-R-O-P, to double up your cholesterol support order for free today.
Tomorrow's a big Friday night. Friday night football, tailgate night. I can't wait. It's high school football season. And then, of course, next week with all the sports. Baseball, football. You know, that's why I don't have to do so much planning. I don't have to run to the grocery store. No, you know why? Because I've got my best-kept secret, my secret weapon for this time of year especially. And that means ready-made meals delivered to my doorstep, whatacrock.com. Okay? All you have to do is go to whatacrock.com, that ready-made meals delivered right to your doorstep. And so whether it's for dinner every day or on weeknights where it's crazy, which is every night in my house, or for tailgating parties, all you do is stick that ready-made meal, good to go, in the slow cooker, and voila. You've got a simmering, delicious meal. It's so easy. I love it. Apple cider chicken. It's delicious. And this fall, they have some new flavors, right? The apple cider chicken, sweet apples, caramelized onions, the Swedish meatballs. I told you about that last week. Just tender, juicy meatballs and a homemade brown gravy, egg noodles, beef stroganoff and a cream sauce with tender beef and mushrooms. I could go on and on. I think tomorrow it'll be the hearty homemade not by me, beef chili, classic beef chili, great for football season. And I do love that French toast bread pudding, which is fresh artisan bread smothered in cinnamon and cream. It's good for brunch or dessert. I could go on, and you know I could. Whatacrock.com. Do this. And it's also a great gift to send to your college kid or somebody who, you know, maybe they've been in the hospital and they're just home. Use WPHT. That's your promo code, WPHT. You get $10 off your first order. Whatacrock.com. Tell them Dawn sent you.
Keep free speech alive. Follow 1210 WPHT on the free Odyssey app. Download it now.
All right, Kayal and Company, 9:53. Time to give away another keyword. Tomorrow, the last day, final day for the month of September, and that'll be it for the Walt Disney World free vacation. So you take this keyword to 1210WPHT.com and enter it for your chance to win a free trip to Walt Disney World, and the keyword is surprises. SURPRISES.
It's not SUR. Surprises. Right?
Oh. Wait, I thought it was...
Surprise, surprise.
Oh boy. Surprise, surprise, I got it wrong. Oh, jeez. Is it surprise?
Wait, yes.
Yeah. Surprise. S-U-R.
Oh, yes, yeah. S-U-R. Yes, you're correct. What am I saying?
Jeez.
I'm sorry.
You were so convincing, you had me second guessing myself.
Man. Oh.
Surprise.
We need a sound drop. Greg, keep your mouth shut.
So surprises, surprises. It surprises nobody that Meatball's back on the street. Surprises.
Oh, my God.
Not to be confused with my Swedish meatballs.
Yes.
On Woodercrock.com.
Exactly right. All right.
Because Swedish meatballs are the small little meatballs and this the big meatball.
Right, the big ones. All right, Dawn Stensland, The Dawn Show, 6 minutes out. What do we got?
We're going to update you. There's so much breaking news and developing, and we're still waiting to figure out which state stores and liquor stores might be open today. So this affects a lot of people, by the way. 10:05, after we do all the live and local updates, we'll have, I love Betsy Brantner-Smith of the National Police Association. She has a lot to say about what's happening here in Philadelphia. Of course, it's made national news. And then as well, all the trends surrounding policing, police chases, and police persecutions and prosecutions. So you want to hear what she has to say about this. And there's some new data out today as well. So that's at 10:05. 11, Beth Ann Rossica of Broad and Liberty. And she's expanding on her latest columns and her latest investigations, intentional omissions from the Philadelphia Inquirer, which is one of my topics that I talk about. So we'll talk about the latest and really call out this media malpractice that's happening and the impact that it creates.
All right, very good. The Dawn Show coming up in 5 minutes as we find out who won Twitter today.
Who won Twitter?
Ill Skills wins Twitter. He says they should only consider banning TikTok if the app is doing something malicious, like stealing information. You're not giving permission or take something like that.
Okay.
Or giving out private addresses.
Right. And doxing people.
By the way, Dave Huber wins YouTube.
Yes.
He says, I was surprised Greg didn't know that spelling.
Well played, sir. You win absolutely nothing but a nice little mention on the air.
Surprise, surprise.
All right, that'll do it for us. Stay tuned. The Dawn Show is next. We're back tomorrow morning. Huh?
Who won the Disney thing? Did you say?
We never say.
Oh, okay.
We just give out the keyword.
We should just do this whole segment over.
Yeah, sorry.
It was just.
I can't believe it's
We'll
almost.
do it live. Yeah, it's just
the past 4 hours. I looked up the clock. I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah.
I know. I'm going to go loot for a little bit and pick up some things that I need. Everybody, we'll talk tomorrow morning at 6. And as our favorite looter would say,
I'm Ed Bonner, and this is my wife, Lynn, and we